What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is HUD Wednesday nights. Eagles, Bucks preview, and we got nobody playing. Let's go.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is HUD Wednesday nights, only on HUD Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by the best, and that's Bozzio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cut with meatballs. Mention HUD Radio, get 10% off your order. As always, no eating. Greg Moakovic, that's Luke Brown, that's this Tom Arnone. This guy over there, that guy over there, this Tom Arnone. He's over there in the corner. I'm replacing him tonight. But we got a lot to go over. Phillies, they clinch it. Clinch the NL East. Clinch, first round bye.
Huge.
We don't have to play any wild card rounds. Now, you could say it's huge, or you can go to the other side and say, it's sitting around. They're sitting around. We're going to talk about it later on in the show. Main topic.
It's huge.
It is. I think it is too. We'll discuss. We'll discuss. Eagles, Bucks preview. We'll give you our score predictions. Chance for you guys to win some money. We'll give you our players of the game. Let's talk about it. Our poll for tonight. The Eagles missing offensive stars have lowered your confidence in their chances of winning on Sunday. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, like we say every night, we're on. Comment in. Let us know what you're thinking. All right. We want to know how you're feeling. They're missing it. They're missing everybody. I mean, doesn't look like Devontae's going to play, obviously. He's done. AJ's not playing. I haven't seen a Lane report. I'm sure you guys probably have.
Lane and Devontae are still in concussion protocol, so they're most likely
they're not playing.
They're out.
No. They're not playing. So, listen, it absolutely lowered my expectations. I mean, we're a team that scored 15 goddamn points. One, because we don't take points, but we just scored 15 points. So we haven't been great offensively. Okay, we have not been great offensively. I thought we were better against the Vikings, obviously, but we still haven't been, besides Green Bay when we lit it up, we haven't been back to that point yet. And injuries have not helped that, right?
Like
so
you mean Falcons?
Falcons? I say Vikings.
Yeah, you had Kirk Cousins in your head, so I
got you. I Kirk.
But I agree with you. But I agree with you.
For a long time, Falcons, Vikings, right? Glad you didn't play the Vikings. The way they're playing.
Yeah, right. But that wouldn't have went well.
Wouldn't have went well at all. Sammy D slinging a rock around. See, I'm not like that stupid. I know what's going on, guys. My bad out there. My fault out there, everybody. My bad. Okay. Don't even know where I was going with all that, but my confidence is definitely lowered. So I agree with the poll. Now, do I still think they can win the football game? Yeah, I do. I mean, Jalen's played good in money time. Mm-hmm. So as much as I'll be critical of the turnovers because you have to be. And there'll be a guy who comes on this show later who wants to pass it over. And if you want to pass it over, then pass it over then. Because if it continues, we won't win a lot of football games. It can't. His fault, not his fault, whatever. When it's a trend, it's a problem. So it's got to slow down. That being said, he's played great when we needed him in big drives. So I'll call it how I see it. I don't care if Dallas Goedert's wide open. I don't give a shit. Right? You got us into the right play call. That's important. That stuff matters. Don't give it. That doesn't bother me. I don't take his yards away. You know what I mean? I don't take his yards away. You could even throw it to the wrong guy. I don't know. You could have stared down the wrong person. Who knows? So you'll give guys credit where credit's due. Then in the fourth quarter, he's played really well. Right? I mean, he puts it on Saquon's hands. We're 3-0. He put it on his hands. I mean, so I don't like the play call. I mean, I like the play call because it essentially worked. I don't like it in this situation, but you're a play away from being 3-0. Okay, and Saquon carried you for 2 other games, so you can deal with the one. You deal with the one. So I mean, it's lowered my confidence because I don't expect us to light it up. Right? We got to get into a dogfight, and that's going to be hard because they're explosive. But to the poll, I agree. What does everybody say out there? The Eagles missing offensive stars have lowered your confidence in their chances of winning on Sunday. Do you agree or disagree? Let us
Hey, I'm going to jump right in here. I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Saquon Barkley. Look, I think we're going to go down there. We're going to get it done. You know, I mean, look, have we been perfect? Absolutely not. Have we done a good job of finishing drives? No. But when it mattered most, we punched it into the end zone. All right. And I think, you know, was our offensive line great? No, but they were great when it mattered. They opened holes when it mattered. And we've proven, and a lot of it is thanks to Barkley, of course, we can run the football when it matters most. And kudos to our defense for stepping up. I mean, they were put in some shit situations, and they were able to man up. They forced that huge turnover on downs that allowed us to, you know, keep the Saints at bay. Look, I'll tell you what, Barkley, I mean, I know I'm stating the obvious, but I'll state it anyway. He's a special player. And without Saquon Barkley, quite frankly, we might be an 0-3 football team right now. But we're 2-1 with our head above water because of him, because of how special he is, because of how dynamic he is. He's a special playmaker. You know, he can take
cheers,
it.
Robbie. Sorry, cheers, Robbie. Yeah, I mean, hey, Rob's got the cheers. I didn't even notice it in his profile pic.
Yeah. Cheers, Rob.
Cheers. Cheers.
Have a lager, Rob.
I didn't see
Lager
it.
up.
Lager up.
Great photo, man. That's a great photo. Well done.
Hey.
Cody says missing real quick. I don't finish your rant. Cody says missing Lane is going to be a problem against the Blitz. We all know it's coming. Yeah, and we usually not go without Lane. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a great point. And yeah, we might have a little bit of trouble, but I think Saquon's the great equalizer here. He can make a lot of plays, even he can make something out of nothing, and he's going to have to do a lot of that on Sunday. And I'm counting on him to get it done. So I think it's going to be a lot of Saquon. I look for him to have 100+ yards rushing, and I think he helps carry us to victory. So, and just maybe we can go 1 week without Jalen turning the football over.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Just give me 1 week, Jalen. Jesus.
He does have a ton over his last, 10, 15 games, right?
Yeah.
It's
every week.
kind of alarming. It's kind of alarming. Especially when we have beat writers glazing in practice and and mini camp of how there is none.
That's the reason we're here.
From none to
That's the reason we're here.
20+ in the last 15 games.
Greg, be smarter than that because you've been around the game a long time. Be smarter than that. When you constantly talk about something as coaching staffs or as, excuse my language, fucking dry jock beat reporters, okay, and you constantly want to talk about turnovers, then you start doing it even more. Sometimes you talk things into existence by trying not to do it, by talking about not doing it. Like at some point as a coach, you can't talk about it. Like we've talked about this. Like it's the same thing with like coming in wanting to work hard. Like if you don't want to work hard, I'm not going to say it every time. We're not going to do this on a nightly basis. You either come in with ready to go or don't walk in the door. It's the same conversation. So you can't constantly be repetitive because sometimes you'll get that action that you're trying to avoid.
Facts.
So Elliott Shore-Parks, this is on you. He should get canceled.
He put out a tweet this week. I'm trying to find it.
We cancel him.
He put out a tweet this week. I'm trying to find it. Why Luke goes.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll go. I'll agree because it's not obvious agree, but I kind of want to be the guy that points the blame at the coach because it's something I said going into the season. I said it was a pre-show, and I said there was something I said after the season ended that out of the three, Jalen, Howie, Nick, there's no chance that this team wins the Super Bowl if all three come back. That was me saying that at a time where I didn't really know where the blame went. Call me young, say I haven't seen a bunch of this in my life before. I'm going to go out on a limb. I know exactly who it is. I know it. It's right in front of all our faces. And you bring up all these dry jocks. How about these guys on TV that clearly only look at a stat sheet and then come up with a whole bunch of stuff. They don't watch the game worth shit. So I think it's fully on the coach. 1,000% on the coach for a few reasons. One, look across the NFL right now. As sad as it is that all these guys get hurt, the team that's going to take the field on Sunday is still better than a lot of rosters across the NFL, talent-wise. No doubt. Literally no doubt. So then if I go across the NFL and outside of a few anomalies here or there, I see a 22-point game, winner. Like team that scores 22 points, winner. 17, winner. 16, winner. All these teams are winning, putting up that amount of points. You go across all these guys on TV. It's the lowest scoring the league has seen in a long time. And you refuse to take 3 points when it seems like your offense has no life. How about this psychologically, right? You go into a drive, first drive of the game. It's 4th and 3. It's totally fine putting up 3 points. You go back to the sideline and say, hey, we got to figure this out in the red zone. We put up 3 points. Puts our defense in a lot less pressure. All you hear about is stopping the run. You know what's a way to stop the run? Take a damn lead and make the other team throw the ball to beat you. How about that? He is hurting the team in so many different ways. It goes on and on and on and on. And
I couldn't agree more.
So,
Sirianni's a clown.
Yeah, and you bring up the turnovers, which it's no doubt definitely partly, relies on Jalen. Definitely.
Right.
He's turned the ball over 6 times. 4 out of the 6 turnovers have been in field goal range or the red area. What does that tell you? It means psychologically, I don't mean to glaze the quarterback, but I'm just putting myself in his shoes. They're chasing 6 points every single time they go down the field, which means in the back of his head, he's not okay with 3 points. He needs to throw the ball in the end zone because that's what his coach wants him to do.
You're not accepting you're not accepting the failure of having to kick a field goal in the red zone. You're understanding that, right? Yes. Psychologically, you right. Get it. You get it. You just nailed it, Luke. We talked about it last week too. You're in a nothing game. It's all situations. It's the worst coach football team that I've ever witnessed here. I witnessed Rich Kotite. I witnessed Ship Guy.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
I witnessed what happened. Okay, I witnessed
Ray Rhodes.
I mean, Ray was great for a year because his speeches were the same. But at the end of the day, I've witnessed all these guys. We all have. This is the worst because I don't mind you being the most aggressive guy in the room, but it's time and place. And you're spot on when you talk about, well, we're going for it every 4th down. We don't give a shit, right? That then goes into a quarterback's brain is well, it's 6 or nothing. Mm-hmm. So if I turn the football over here, who gives a shit? Because we're going to go for it anyway. Think about that. Nobody thinks about that. And that's why we're the best. You know what I mean? That's why we're the best. All right? And Luke's fucking studying and shit and coming out here and dropping knowledge on motherfuckers tonight. And I love it because the fan base needs to hear it. And Jalen's to blame for it. We're not saying Jalen can't turn the football over. I don't red zone, non-red zone. He needs to know that. And he does, and right, he needs to know that. I don't care psychologically anymore. It can't happen if you want to win football games. That's 101. And the double high safety is what's killing offenses in football. Because now you can't go deep. Their guys are playing 35 yards back. How are you beating that guy? How are you beating anybody over anybody's head at that point?
That's why all these running backs are putting up career numbers up to this point of the season for that reason. And you have to be man enough and smart enough and mature enough to say, you know what, it's his day. Hand the ball off. Or simply take a 3-yard, check down over and over and over again. You can methodically drive up and down the field.
Gain over the middle.
The Steelers and the Seahawks are 3-0. They've each beaten 3 teams. They haven't lost yet. Those teams might come out to bite me now. They stink compared to us. We have so much more talent compared to them. 100%. Atlanta's being talked about like they're a good team. I was there. They stink. They should have put up way more points than they should have. People talk about the drop in the play call. I wasn't here last week. You could talk about that all day long. They wouldn't have even been in that spot if they just taken more points.
Well, this is the whole conversation why Nick if he continues, and we talked about it on Sunday, right? And I was like, I used the word I used the phrase out of control. That's how he's coaching. He's coaching out of control. He's coaching like you're playing Madden at 2 in the goddamn morning. Nobody gives a shit. And I'm going for it on 4th and 34. I don't care. I don't care on my own 20. Like it's and then Sweep said reckless. It's reckless. You're in a 3-0 game before half. You're gonna have one play left at that point, right? If you want to talk about that drive, you're gonna have one play left if you're lucky. It's not a high percentage opportunity. You have a high percentage kicker that you pay a lot of money to. Yeah. I'm not telling you I'm a big fan of kicking field goals, but I'm telling you there's times you have to do it. I don't care what analytics say. Have a feel. And if you do not have a feel for the game, then it is time for you to go. I don't care how good they do this year. Like if you cut the nets down, I get it, right?
No chance. No chance.
With him coaching, I think there's no chance as well. Because he's a weirdo with the way he coaches. Like, listen, it's like he's coaching kids. Like, you're not coaching kids. You're coaching grown men. When he ran down the field for CJ, when that's not a walk-off, that's karma. That's karma. You just learned to lose the game.
That's all we needed to know.
Yeah, you ran 55 yards, you loser. You ran 55 yards. So, I mean, he's got to do better because he owes the team better, right? You don't pay a kicker this kind of money to not. And I'm not saying like you got to use a kicker all the time, but you're not paying.
Chrome.
You're not paying a kicker this kind of money to not use him in situations where you would have been up 6-3 going in at halftime. Instead, you're down 3-0. Like we talk about psychologically, what does that do for your football team? It does a lot, right? It does a lot. We're playing with a lead now. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, Jalen's got to do a better job with taking care of the football, especially when we talk about this league and it being low scoring right now. There's got to even be more of an emphasis. But I also think when you over talk about it, it becomes a problem. So, but he knows better. So that's why Nick owes everybody. Like he owes Jalen. He owes everybody.
The defense.
Take the fucking points. Like you're not making like if it's 4th and 5 and you're down 10, like you're going for that. Right? It's all how's the game's going. If you're in a shootout and you know you need to drop 34 to win, then yes, I understand it. But we're talking about the Falcons game is a nothing game on your second drive of the game. Like it's not like it's not like you should have stagnant offense where you're like, we gotta score. We gotta score, Tom. It's your second drive. You want to make your offense feel good about themselves? Take the 3.
And
the crowd's cheering. You get them involved. You don't get it. It's deflate gate.
And you talk about analytics, right? And you know, to your point, Luke, with the scoring down, right? Where's the worst of that scoring down? In the red zone, right? Yeah. So you're in the red zone and you're not taking points when you get stuffed. You know what I mean? Like that first 4th down, the play you're talking about, Tommy, right there in the first quarter, right? If you go for that in the moment, I'm good, right? But as soon as you call or waste that timeout, that's when you come, all right, Jake, go do your job, get us 3 points, get us on the board, get that stadium back rocking again, right? Because that was deflating to the stadium. It was wild to start that game. And then I found that quote or that tweet from Elliott Shore-Parks. Nick Sirianni is being unfairly ripped for that game. His team went on the road on a short week and beat a red-hot team that nobody thought they'd beat. That matters more than one bad situational decision.
See, that's the biggest.
And so I responded, says the guy who reported training camp stats. So glad Jalen's not turning the football over in real games.
Yeah. What he said there. Read it again, Greg. Read it again.
Nick Sirianni is being unfairly ripped for that game. His team went on the road on a short week and beat a red-hot team nobody thought they would beat. Well, we all did because we all picked them.
Yeah,
that matters more than one bad situational decision.
It was 3.
Hey, Elliott! It's definitely
3.
More than 1.
Hey, Elliott, we held the Saints to 12 points and barely escaped. Hello?
It's not even escape. Like a win's a win. I get it. But don't say his team when he was out of fucking control. That's where you can't say his team. His team bailed his ass out.
Yeah, you can't say that when you're winning in spite of somebody. You can't do it.
Jalen Carter played like Jerome Brown Aaron Donald. I mean, name like some of the specialty tackles. Warren Sapp. Like, he was all over the goddamn football field. Like, can you stop it? Like, that last drive. That's an offensive team drive right there. That has nothing to do with Nick. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of Nick. I'm so tired of like trying to give him credit. Like, listen, I won't say a word, and I usually won't if you're winning. But like watching it, and when you have 5 guys, there's not going to be a guy on here that disagrees with it. That's like, no, he should go for that. He should have went for that, Tom. No, because we're all like, what are we doing? Like, I haven't got one disagreement on Facebook, and you know Facebook, right? I haven't got one disagreement when it comes to Nick Sirianni being out of his mind. I haven't got one. Like, that's amazing. Like, nobody's going to be like, Tom, I think going for it is awesome like that. I don't think they should ever kick. I think they should cut Jake Elliott right now. Save the money.
I mean,
it is bananas. When you don't get pushback on Facebook, you either no one's eating like your shadow band, or we're all just in agreement, right?
I mean, the end of the half was obviously more egregious, but it's interesting because we're talking about what we're seeing over the last 3 games with the decision making in terms of the coaching staff, particularly with Nick Sirianni. And yes, Jalen needs to take better care of the football. I actually thought he did take better care of the football in this game overall. I think that first pick was on Smitty, who did not run the route properly. AJ would run that route exactly how it needed to be run.
But they're also different body types.
Correct. But Greg Jennings, right? I've always loved Greg Jennings. I respect his opinion. Really broke that play down. And he said it does not matter your body type on that play, because the worst that's going to happen is a guy's going to reach over top you and knock it down. Yeah. It doesn't matter your body type. That ball should never be picked unless you run the route incorrectly, which he kind of did. He did in a roundabout instead of just running right at the defender and then cutting in. But overall, I mean, he fumbled the ball. But aside from that, I actually thought he really took a decent care. But it makes me now wonder a little bit more with some of these shots that he's taking is because of a lack of confidence in the coaching staff on making the right decisions in the right moment, where he is taking shots that maybe he shouldn't or wouldn't. It's just something that I think about a little bit, where he's trying to play
psychologically.
With the quote unquote hero ball. Like, you feel like,
well, he's like, fuck it. He's like, screw it. Yeah.
We're not going for 3 anyway.
Yeah, we're not going for it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going for it anyway. I might as well take a shot.
Cut your bust.
And that's not and like today's game with the double high safety, 100 yards back, right? It's setting up for lower scoring games. So knowing that, it's even more of an emphasis of taking care of the football and taking 3. So your quarterback and your coach are always connected, right? And they always have to have a synergy, right, guys? And that's been for years. So that's their synergy right now. And that's up to, listen, Jalen's a grown ass man. Jalen needs to take care of the football. And I never once blamed the Devontae route on him, but it's a trend. And when you're turning over, and then it starts happening, even when it's not your fault, right? And we know that the fumble can't happen. Okay, he's got to have a game where he doesn't do it, right? And this would be the perfect week.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely undermanned, to say the least, right? To say the least, it'd be a perfect week for a Saquon 34 carries for $185. You know what I mean? Like, it's the kind of week you need. But Crum, you're spot on. Luke, you're spot on. You know, it's something we've talked about, right? And it's crazy because, like, it's all of us. We're all saying the same shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's being like, well, you know what, Tom? I think you give him a break because it's weird. It's weird. It's like, we have second highest pay kicker in football, third highest pay kicker in football, somewhere in there, fourth, doesn't matter, right? But he's paid high. He's a Pro Bowler, an All Pro type kicker. I don't get it. And then we decide to kick the 62-yarder, like,
and give a short field.
Yeah, that's the one you want to kick. Like, that's the one. Like, I looked at my dad because we drove back from a game an hour away. I went to pick up Cass and my dad for a championship and drive back. Right? I'm an idiot. But, whatever. I didn't want to go all day without seeing him. So, I went there, got him. And we both look at each other. Mel was like setting up for a 62-yarder. And we both like look at each other and go, now they kick it? Like, I don't agree with him on stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we're not always in agreement with sports. And I'm like, we both look at each other and make eye contact. Like, Now he's kicking it. Like what? Like that's when you know there's a problem.
And going back to the one before half, I feel like I might be the only one who thinks this. Maybe I'm not. There's 14 seconds left, right? And we can go on and on how stupid it is. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of Nick and why he wanted to do that. What made him think that?
Oh, don't do
that to
yourself.
The only thing that I can come up with is that he thought that was going to break for a touchdown. That's it. Because if you remember though, he was right by he was even when they ran the play, he was calling timeout right away because he wanted to make sure that if they spotted it right and he got the first down, that he was calling a timeout right away. So I'm with you trying to understand it because you're then going to take one shot to the end zone and expect with no timeouts and the entire defense knowing
that's what it was. They were going to take a shot at the end zone.
But to your point though, Luke, like it still doesn't make any sense. If you had 2 timeouts, it's different, right? Because then you called a timeout after the failed tush push that all of a sudden at that point in the game we wanted to try something different, right? Works 95% of the time, and that's the time we want to try something different.
That doesn't make sense. Doing that still makes no sense.
Just put it in his goddamn belly then.
Yes,
right. Then just line up on their center.
Yeah. So the other part of it too, right? If you're going to run the football on that play. And we saw it in the Atlanta game because it happened to Bijan Robinson. You got to run it up the gut. Yeah. If you're going for it, try to get a hole up the middle. You got to run it up the gut. None of the lateral, side to side, east to west. You need to go north south, run downhill, and just gut out those yards. He's the type of back that can run guys over a little bit. So that's what. And the same thing happened to Atlanta where they weren't able to convert on a fourth down conversion because they tried to do a swing around on the left side, and they got stopped short. So if you're going to do it, I didn't absolutely think it was the most egregious thing until I saw the play call on it too as well. Like, I'm with you. I take the points. But if you're not going to do it, at least run a play where I feel like you like the end of the Atlanta game, I was not like they did the conservative. We're going to go for the first down. If we don't get it, we're going to kick it anyway. And honestly, in hindsight, the extra 30 seconds you could have ticked off didn't matter because they went right down the field in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So the 30 seconds of if you run the ball and wind it down really didn't make much of a difference, right? So if you're going to kick it anyway, I didn't mind that. But this, like, I'm not even confident in the play call that, okay, I felt like that was – as soon as he went off to the left side, you could see everybody called – they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. So, like, if you're going to do it, at least, like,
guys are
have a little balls about it and run up the middle.
Because guys are too fast sideline to sideline. Like the Bijan one, they had the other running back like lead blocking, and he ran right past. I forget the linebacker who made the tackle, but for the Chiefs, but he ran right past him, right past him, and went and blocked somebody else. And I'm like, if you just sat still and he ran you over, it's a first down. Yep. You know what I mean? Like if you just sat still, so like you're putting guys in like blocking situations that they're not comfortable doing. Like, so you're not like tricking somebody. You don't want the explosive, like, oh, look at that. We fooled you. And we ran a 28 sweep. Like, no, you're not fooling, or a jet sweep in a way. Like, you're not fooling us. Like that alignment right there makes me think you're going sideline to sideline. Like the second you go 2 running backs side by side like that, I automatically don't believe you're going up the gut.
I think the other thing too with the half, right? Not kicking the ball or at the half. If that's even like a 10-7 game or a 13-10 game, and there's some points on the board, and the offense has proven that points aren't as much of it, like they can produce something, I would be a little bit more okay with it. But when you can't get any points, and I think like you have the ball at the half. You got a point at 10. You have an opportunity at a 10-point swing. That's where I thought that was super egregious. Is like you got 0 points. You're getting the ball at the half. Take the 3. It's going right back to you.
But then you're going into the locker room.
That's the other side, Drake Crum, the double dip. That's what annoyed me the most. Is the double dip.
It was greedy.
Well, yeah. Greg, Crum, we're going into the locker room tied. It's like a different vibe
after dominating an entire half.
Yeah, you're like, okay, all right, let's go.
Are we? Can I throw this out there? Are we thinking about this from the wrong angle though? Right? Like we know it seems like Nick is obviously, 7 or bust at every time, right? Like, we're always going to go for it. Do you think this is coming from the top, knowing how Jeffrey Lurie wants to be the team and the guy talked about the most? Do you think that there is pressure because of the way we know Jeffrey is with his offense and wanting to be the greatest show on turf? Do you guys think any of that is connected?
I love conspiracies and pressure from the top, and I think it's real in the corporate world. I do, obviously, like it is a real thing. Listen, man, if you're making decisions based off of what a guy in a suit thinks you should do, then you shouldn't be here because you're not the right man for the job. Right? I'm not saying you got to. I'm not saying you got to defy him all the time.
Maybe Jeffrey's got some dirt, right? Like obviously he's got the job over his head.
Well, what I do think is to your point.
Now we talking about.
I didn't want to say that, but
now he's dog with a secretary. I mean,
Go ahead. He's no better than your high school gym teacher, and they're good guys and people that I liked at school. And they're my buddies. They're my buddies. They're great guys to hang out with and whatever you want to do with. Doesn't mean I want him coaching my favorite team. Absolutely not. He is no better than the Rally House high school gym teacher that coaches the high school football team. He's no better or bigger than that. I guarantee you.
I couldn't agree with you more.
There are guys rotting in Texas high school football right now that call plays that know more football and are more disciplined in football situations than he is, because it has gotten to a point where it is embarrassing how horrible it is. Embarrassing.
Listen, I think that. See, what I do think is the organization wants an aggressive coach. I think that like Dan Campbell, that type of coach, is the sexy pick right now currently as far as head coaching candidates, right? So I think that there is a support level from the top, which is why I don't think, as long as they're winning, if they start losing, then it is what it is. But I don't see the organization saying, hey, this is not who you're going to be. Like, I think they brought him in. That's the problem. I think they brought him in to be that guy. And I think that they loaded it up with so many weapons in the skill position so they can be that guy and increase their opportunities, right? So I do think you take an A.J. Brown out of the lineup, you lose a Lane Johnson, you lose a Mekhi Becton, and these guys that they're starting to go down like flies, you need to start playing more conservatively, right? Like, I can give a little more leniency when all of those weapons are in full force, when the gun's loaded. You know what I mean? With all the bullets. Yeah. But at the situation they are now.
Can't have a water pistol. Can't have a water pistol and think you're going to go, fight the Russian Red Army.
Yeah,
Soviet Union. You're going to go take down the Soviet Union. Like,
this is where the adjustment needs to be made for the time being, and you have to be more situational. And that's where I think they need to figure that out.
Well, right. even with the guys, it didn't work last year, and we're seeing the same movie this year.
Right, but it worked the year before, though. Like, it worked the year before, so there's been a track record where
it worked, but they did it differently. When it was 4th and 3, they would put so much trust in their offensive line, and they would hand it off twice. I just watched the Indy game with Steichen, who was calling the plays. He does it to this day. He does it. The difference is now they don't put as much trust for whatever reason in their run game. That's totally different to say it's 4th and 3, it's 3rd and 3. I trust to hand the ball off 2 times. I'll get it.
But we can't ignore who the offensive coordinator was last year. We haven't seen what Kellen Moore can do in these situations outside of the Green Bay game with a full roster with all of his weapons. AJ's been out. You lost Devontae. You're missing linemen.
I'll say this. I don't care if it's the greatest show on turf that they're running out here. I don't care. These situations called for field goals.
The best offenses of all
time. I know exactly what Crumb's saying. Like the leniency when the gun's loaded, right? Like, obviously.
I think the organization supports this style of coaching, and I think that ultimately that's what they want and think will help this roster. I think they built this roster for an aggressive coach. I really do.
Jason, Welcome back, brother.
And but now I'm not saying it's going to be successful all of the time, but I think that's the way the roster was built for an aggressive head coach like him or like a Dan Campbell or one of those guys.
Stevie Puccinellis is not that guy. He's right. He's not that guy. They can want that, but there's like, how do you explain it? Like layman terms, like there's times you can drive fast and there's times you got to drive slow.
I get it. I agree with you.
And then there's Tom Arnone, and you're just the best.
Well, and there's outliers to everything, right? There's always an outlier.
Yeah, like the damn planes in Virginia. The aircrafts that clock your speed.
They'll get you. That's the outlier.
Yeah, there's the outlier.
I do agree with you, by the way. Like I don't agree with all of these calls.
We're giving the other side of it.
This is just how I think this roster was built because this is what they want. And I think that's why you're not seeing the change. I do think the top of the I'm not saying the top of the organization is saying this is what you're doing, but this is the style of play I believe that they would like. And I think they built the roster to support that style of play. It's just when those guys aren't in, then you need to adapt. You have to, as a coach, as a head coach, and as the rest of the coaching said, they need to adapt. I mean, they talked this week about on defense how Vic Fangio has adapted almost every game, and you're seeing the defense stepping up. And we need to see that offensively with the play calling and the fourth quarter situational play calls. Or I'm sorry, fourth down situational play calls.
Yeah, I just think that
all great points, but let's face it, even if your gun is fully loaded, there's going to be situations that come up in a ball game where you got to take the damn points.
I agree.
And clearly this clown of a head coach does not understand that.
Or draft a rookie kicker. Simple.
Yeah, I don't want to say overpay, but don't make your kicker the second or top 5 highest paid kicker to never use them.
We'll use them for 62, but anything within range, we're going to sit that out.
I mean, when you think about it like this, they have been really, really good within the 20s because that's Kellen Moore. That's where he's owning the show. That's where he's outside of the Green Bay interception in the first half where Jalen threw it basically from his own end zone. As we just said, the turnovers have been in the red area or in field goal range every single time. So it's a psychological thing. So if they're so good within the 20s and that's the offensive coordinator's play calling, let's get something very, very straight. They're great within the 20s. That's all the offensive coordinator. He has absolutely no say or no play calling or any kind of feel on the defensive side of the ball. And the only time you butt your head in is when you have to make situational football decisions to put points on or to leave the offense out there. And that is the only thing that is alarming to this point of the season that's holding them back. They are 2-1 right now. At what point do you say to all these idiots on TV that want to talk about the turnovers and the stats or whatever, at what point do you watch a game and say, you are the only one holding us back? It's you. It's you. It is fully you. You don't handle the defense. Between the 20s, the offense has been probably up there with the entire NFL. And then when it comes down to you making the decision, which you admitted, he said that 4th and 1, he's like, whoa. Kellen's driving the car. I stopped him. Now I want to drive the car, and I want to make a decision. Well, that decision almost cost us an entire game, just like it did the week before, just like it did in that entire collapse last season. The more he stays away, the better the overall team is every single time out. It's ridiculous.
Bingo.
Tommy, it's like you said in your video today or last night or whatever, right? Like you just can't, if you're the CEO coach, you just can't have your imprints and your fingertips on the loss, right? Like then because you need someone to blame, right? Especially this CEO coach, right? Coming back in theory as a lame duck, right? You can't have your fingerprints all over a loss.
No,
yeah. You need someone to blame because you need someone to blame.
Yeah, if they lose that Saints game, if they lose that Saints game, that dude's run out of the city.
And that's the problem because he's going to do it again because they went 10-1 and they won yesterday. He's going to do it again. And maybe you guys are right. Maybe it is coming from the organization and it's not him.
Come on.
That's an even bigger problem.
Back.
That's an even bigger problem. Like that's
Listen,
an
you
even
could
bigger
say
problem.
if all we want. If Saquon catches the ball, they're 3-0. If Saquon catches the ball and they lose to the Saints, they're 2-1, and we're right where we're at right now. I mean, it's played out the way it's played out, and at the current moment, whoever's making the calls, they're not nailing them on fourth down. That's just
No,
what it is.
and that's all what it is. That's all what it
Yeah.
is. Like, thank God
And
they're
the-
2-1.
I actually
Yes.
thought that
wanna-
was
Yes.
the right.
we don't-
The one I thought they called right was the one that was dropped by Saquon Barkley.
I agree with you. I mean, I didn't hate the play
And that
call
wasn't
at
a
all.
fourth down; it was a third down. But still, like one in a moment like that, I thought that was the right call. They went for the kick.
Yeah.
They did the defense wasn't letting them run up and down the field the whole game.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like. It doesn't matter one way or the other to me that specific situation.
Right.
You know, I think the game could be different if you do run it though. Like, just it could be a different feel to it. It could be everything, right? The drop could deflate everybody. It could deflate your defense. So there's a lot of things that we talk about in sports of ebb and flows that can happen after that. So
All
know,
true, but in that Falcon game, how about a stop? How about a pass rush on the Falcons' final drive? You know, how about put Kirk Cousins on his ass for once? And they didn't do that, and we lost the game.
Listen, that happens. That happens. I don't want to be talking about week 15 as this football team not playing good enough football and talking about another potential collapse or something like that, God forbid, because we're reckless. I don't want to have the conversation because he's got his fingers all over the things that are going wrong. Like Luke said, if he's going to be a CEO, you don't need to drive the car ever. Teach somebody how to drive the car. You understand? We don't need you. We don't need you, you CEO of a cleaning company. I don't need you cleaning. All right? That's what you hired somebody to do. That's what training and that's what meetings, that's what everything else is for, essentially, in any job. Because you're hiring somebody else to do it. So can you oversee it? Of course. But a guy like Kellen Moore and Vic, you're not really let them go do it until it's not working.
Yeah.
I don't need you driving the car, Nick, on a fourth down because you want to be the hero. I'm happy you're accountable, but I also think that's because you talk too much. I don't think you're even trying to be accountable. I just think you say 5,000 words in pressers, which is fine. He's an open book. I'm not mad at him for that. And again, I don't think Nick's a bad guy at all. I do not. And I stand by that. And met him numerous times. He's a good guy.
Teacher. Great gym teacher.
He's an absolute gym teacher.
Yep.
And that's
fine.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Great
totally
guy.
fine. Yeah.
I don't listen. I don't want to ever see somebody lose their job. All right. But it'll be great in college. He'd
High
be
school.
the perfect. I'll give him the right to go coach college, right? You know what I mean? I'll give him a little bit more than you're going to give him with it, right? But go to the college.
Oh, he's coming to Happy Valley, Luke.
His antics are college antics.
Yeah.
They're really little league. They're literally like little kid antics. But his antics and the way I love fire, right? But he just goes. It just looks childish, especially when you look like a dumbass where you're decision making. Like, makes sense. So if your decision making spot on, and you got antics and you're winning, we're good, right? We're good. We witnessed it in 2023 or 2022. We witnessed it. Okay, we were good with it. But when you start touching shit, and we know it's you, stop touching that. I deal with it every day. Goes out to fucking put it down, right? So we deal with it every day. If you're touching everything, and you got the antics, and we're almost losing football games because of you, and we did lose the Falcons game because of him. Because if he takes the points, it's a different football game. So it is his fault. It is. I don't care about the play call. I care about what happened on the second drive of that football game. So all the rest doesn't matter. And if you agree with that Nick's job's on the line, hit the damn like, hit the subscribe, stay with us. I don't know how many likes we got over on YouTube right now, but
if you don't agree with that, hit the damn like, hit the subscribe, turn on your alerts.
Well, we just jumped up over on YouTube. Keep going, boys. Keep going.
Let's go.
I just saw us jump up like 4 or 5 likes. Love seeing that. 60 people watching, 27 likes over on YouTube.
Giddy up. Now, what are we thinking? Well, we got a big one coming up. Buccaneers playing great football, an explosive offense. Baker's
I was
really found
I was
a home.
bummed that they lost the way they did last week because I was hoping they'd come in 3-0, especially with the way that we're limping in there, right? I was hoping they'd come in 3-0. Baker puff chesting out, right? Feel it all good, and then we could smash them in the face. I don't know if that's going to happen.
What's hard about it is,
especially when you add the mush factor of me being there.
Yeah, I don't mind that because what overrides that is you lost 2 playoff games there.
Yeah.
So it's been a house of horrors for the Philadelphia Eagles, per se, right?
I will say the last time I was there, they won. That was the Monday night game last year.
Yeah.
So are we? How are we looking with? Is Becton going to be back for this week?
Yeah, but I don't. It'll be
Becton probably.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
it'll
way.
be,
There's no way Lane and Devontae are going to be back.
No, it'll be
No,
interesting
no.
to see if
But this
Becton
concussion
actually
protocol, you don't make
plays.
it back the next week.
Yeah, it's a hand and a finger issue. You're right, Luke. So
Yeah.
it's probably very easily aggravated again.
Well, I'm also saying from the standpoint of like if you're gonna put and Jason Kelsey now that he's out, he talks about it a lot. Continuity within the O line.
Yeah.
You
played 2 backups.
Tyler Steen went in there and played a
They
real
played awesome.
good game.
So did Fred Johnson.
Yeah, so I was just
In
gonna
for
say,
Lane,
so it looks like Fred
Well, that's
Johnson
what he's
is probably
saying.
going to play.
Yep.
At what point do you say, all right, they worked well together, and
Yeah.
it is a little bit unfair to Mekhi because he's healthy, and it wasn't his fault that he wasn't out there. Maybe they go that route.
Well, you give him another week with the finger
yeah,
and the bye.
yeah,
right?
that's true.
Especially with the
bye.
bye.
Yeah, so you give him another week with the finger. So you're spot on, Luke. I mean, you nailed another. I mean, I am so fucking proud of your drop-ins tonight. You know what I mean? As Don said earlier, circling back with the Don. But it's true. They got a chemistry together. They practice together, right? That's what happens. And Jason Kelsey, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
His brother might not know what the hell he's talking about, but he does. Okay, so this game. Mike Evans, I feel like, his own Darius Slay.
He popped up on the injury report. I'm sure he's going to play.
Yeah,
because that's
he'll
what
play.
Mike Evans does. But he did pop up on the injury report this week.
He'll play.
Humberto, we do know the record without Lane.
I think it's AJ and Devontae, though. I really do. I thought they looked pretty well. They were able to get through without Lane this week after he went out. He went out fairly early in the game.
He
but
did.
You talk about, we're not talking about like he went out in the fourth quarter. Like he was out the majority of the game. You're missing your 2 biggest guns. I mean, obviously Saquon, but I don't know. I mean, can you expect that Dallas Goedert's going to put up another 100-yard game? I don't know. Could,
especially being the focus of the offense, right? Like you have to think the Bucs are coming in. Bucs are coming in, focusing and keying on Barkley and Goddard, right? They're going to and rightfully so, they're going to say Dotson, Ross, Campbell, Calcaterra, Stahl, right? You guys beat us because those 2 are not.
24-21 Eagles. Jake Elliott game-winning field goal, 58-yarder.
28-yarder?
No,
58-yarder.
Oh, 50. I was about to say, if you're under 50, we know Jake's not kicking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sure we're not gonna take a shot at the at 6?
Fourth and two in a tie game. We're gonna, you know what? Look, really, 5 seconds left. 8 seconds left. We'll still take a shot. Awesome. I don't know. I got a weird vibe that they're gonna, even though I agreed to the poll, like my confidence is lower, right? Without those guys. And,
sure.
And, for sure. That's an easy one. But Jalen has a history of finding ways to win games. He's got arguably the best running back in football right next to him. Got a pretty good tight end. Maybe this is a Jahan Dotson game.
No.
I don't know. But it's hard to score in this league, obviously. So maybe our defense comes to play. I don't think it's going to be like that type of performance. But I do hope that carries over into the confidence together and playing together and all that stuff that comes with that. So I think they'll play good football again. They'll still give up 3 touchdowns because I think that's a really good offense, obviously. And they got shut down last week.
Yeah.
So it's sort of hard to shut them down twice.
And let's be real, it's just the Bucs, right? Very good team. right? Good offense, but it's not like, the Kansas City Chiefs are walking in, right? Or the Buffalo Bills, or we're going to Kansas City, we're going to Buffalo, facing like the juggernauts right now of the league, or Minnesota, right? As we talked earlier.
I go Tampa in December. You know what I mean? I think that's a terrible schedule. Right?
Yeah.
I'd rather just play home right now. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Well, it's not gorgeous right now, but like this is where you want to be home. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that they're not a juggernaut, right? So even though we are down some key weapons, doesn't mean we can't go in there and win a football game, right? Especially on the offensive side of the football. Just because we're down our top, this is going to sound so depressing, right? We're down our top 2 receivers, down our top right tackle, doesn't mean that we can't sit there and go win a football game.
Well, hold on. This is why you pay him. I mean,
100%.
First off, let's just call it here. We'll just call it right here. And it ain't all on him. I get it. But this is why you pay a quarterback. It's why you pay franchise quarterbacks to win you games with less. Like that's why. So, my binoculars are on Jalen Hurts in this football game. They are. It's a place he hasn't played well all the time. He did last year regular season. I get it. Playoffs, no. Right?
$250 million comes with that target.
It comes with it. Like guys like Mahomes find ways to win games depleted.
All the time.
Right?
All the time.
So, and they get help, but he's got to find a way to win a football game Sunday. There's no excuses. Like, and there just isn't. Like, I know you're down weapons, but you still have weapons. It's not like he has nobody. But it's not act like it's like the worst offense of all time here. It's still really good. You still have a really good left side of your offensive line, right? Fred Johnson played really well last week. Okay, so did Steen. So you're still solid. You're still solid. You're not explosive, but you're solid. I do win a 24-21 game.
I do think you could have worse options out there too, right? Like John Ross is a guy who's played in a lot of big games.
Is he activated? I assume
it's close.
They signed him right after the week. Activated they should elevate.
Gotcha.
But
it'll probably be Dodson, Campbell, and Ross running out there.
So you have 3 guys who are veterans.
Paris Campbell's now playing.
He played last week.
He played last week.
Listen, I'm sorry. I rated.
No, I know you were on the field. Yeah,
I couldn't watch.
So he caught 1 or 2 balls.
Yeah, he caught a couple balls. So I mean, at least you have.
Paris. It's not terrible, Chrome. You're right. Go ahead.
I mean, you could be looking at a lot worse on top of already having Goddard and having Barkley out there as well. Like, I mean, you could have worse options. Dotson has shown potential at moments, not with this team yet, but he has shown the potential in years past.
Your redheaded brother had worse options. Your redheaded brother had worse options here, Chrome. I mean, this is like the greatest show on turf from Carson's years.
Yeah.
And
wonder if Greg Ward's getting a call this week.
Travis Fulgham. What's Fulgham doing right now?
Donovan had Terrence Small. Like Donovan had like the worst wide receiving core at 1.2.
James Thrash.
Yeah, Todd Binks.
Yeah.
Fred X.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, so what's it, a 1 o'clock? Is it 1
It's
o'clock?
a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we get Brady this week.
Oh,
yeah, thank God I'll be at the game.
Well, thank God.
Going back to Tampa for the first time.
How's the weather looking for Sunday?
Should be fine.
Good.
Sunday's going to be post-storm. It's going to be.
I got a buddy flying down on Saturday. He's a little concerned about
Saturday. He's fine.
That's why I told him. I think he'll be fine.
I got buddies flying down on Friday.
Guys going to end up in the.
Friday's going to be dicey. Friday they're going to have some fun because that's when it'll probably be in in the Atlanta areas on Friday. So they're going to have to almost fly like right through it if they're going to Tampa.
You're going to land in the Bay of Tampa.
Yeah.
I don't want to laugh about that. It's not fun.
Yeah, they'll land in the stupid fucking ship at the
oh my God.
in the stadium. What's that stupid ship they have at that god awful stadium?
The pirate ship.
It's called a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a pirate ship in your stadium. I mean, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
I've seen it in person. It is very cool.
It's really cool.
I don't get caught up in the extras like Noah does. I'm just here to watch football or in terms of this weekend on the radio.
Yeah, let's.
Or who knows? Maybe we call up a game up. Maybe we call up a 10 o'clock game up.
How funny is it though, right? Like how funny is early, like when the schedule released, we're like, holy shit, a week 5 bye? What the hell are we doing a week 5 bye? Now we're praising that we have a bye coming up after this week
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, well, I
with
love
all the injuries that we have.
I love a bye in October. I'm a big October bye guy because it's right in the the crux of baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy, if you're trying to throw the 10 a.m. game, just let me take the mound. I'll take care of it for you.
I thought we were going to throw an 8 a.m. game this Sunday. I'm like,
I mean,
this game's over. We were down. I was like, it's over. It's over.
I'll get
we did it.
shelled for 6 or 7 runs.
It was amazing. We won it. We came back and won. Then we don't play till 12:30. So you have a game off. You have to wait. And then and then we won that. And it's like, and then you don't play at 5. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then 3 games you're done. Then you lose. But it's like that's too long of a day. It's like ridiculous. But I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get home for the game. Like, all right, we're down 5-2. It's a wrap. They don't want if they don't want to be here, then neither do I. I said that, and I said that to them when they came in. I said, listen, if you guys don't want to be here, like that's fine, because I'll just be home at 1 o'clock for the Eagles. Like, time's yours. Right? Like, I'm good.
And we could do a normal post-game show, right?
And I think they went up and put 5 runs. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not mad at you though. All right. What do you guys
It's for you, Coach Tom.
Yeah, you want to watch the game? F you.
Here's thinking you were getting home early. Ha ha.
What do you guys? So what are you guys thinking score wise?
20-10 Birds.
Oof.
20-10. Jesus.
Freaking guys got them scoring 10 points.
They're getting shelled 2 weeks in a row.
Now we're the 85 Bears.
Tampa's not that great. Come on.
What do you mean? Hey, that offense is good. Are you kidding me?
And
Are
Baker
you
was
okay?
good. Listen,
Are you okay? Chris
Hey,
Godwin.
Cleveland-
He's back to being confident. He's back to having fun, right? That was what made, that was obviously what made Baker really good in college, was his confidence was super high, and he was always enjoying himself. And then you go to Cleveland.
Cleveland's decision looks
and-
really bad right now.
And Cleveland is just a dreck of a town,
I
of a
told you
city.
I told you guys. Might be
And
the only thing I was ever right in my entire life.
yeah,
That he could play. That he could play. It wasn't him. Cleveland was not him. It wasn't him. I don't know. I know.
They got rid of him
Same
after
thing
he
with
made the
Johnny.
playoffs.
same thing with Johnny.
Imagine that, Chrome. Imagine drafting a guy in that
First
spot
time.
and then being like, you know what? We finally made the playoffs, but it's time to start over.
Yeah, forget that. How about wanting to make the playoffs for 20 years?
First time they made the playoffs, however many, 20
And
something
then we'll go
years.
sign a creep. Then we'll go sign a creep.
Who's still got stuff?
Who
coming
lost
out.
to the Giants?
Dude stinks. Dude,
I think they're coming out with that shit because there's a clause in his contract that if something else comes out,
They
the
have
rest
to,
of it's
right?
not
'Cause they had to get
guaranteed.
out from that, right?
Yeah,
They
the
have
rest
to
of
get out
if
from
one
that.
more thing gets like out there to a certain point, I don't know the specifics of it, his contract becomes non-guaranteed. So after this year. So wouldn't surprise me if they're doing some undercover investigation to try to get out of that deal.
They'll probably pay a few women to come
No,
forward.
they're like, here, we'd rather pay you $1 mil or $2 mil to come out with it than
Right.
Yeah.
90 something mil
Right.
or 100 and something. Mil.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Yeah,
But not surprising.
I think that's extremely optimistic. I think it's going to be a tight game again. I got Birds 24, Buccaneers 20.
Oh, we're right there.
Tommy, what was your score again?
24-21.
24-21. Okay.
Jakey for the dub. Got it.
27-24 Birds.
Wow, look at us. Look at us.
Barn
All right.
burner.
You know, in the interest of time, I'm going a little bit different than you. I'll go 26-23 Birds.
Get the broom out.
I'll be the guy again. I'll go 21-16 Tampa.
There you go. Well
Jalen puts us
Well
Jalen puts us in a position to win weapons.
done. Oh,
has
he
out
dropped.
there.
Oh,
I was just
Oh, I
kidding.
thought it fell off. I was like, wait, what?
Where's everybody at?
I think Jalen's gonna put them in a position to win the game. And call me the kid of the group and negative, whatever you want to call it. I've seen the movie too many times. I have no faith in him whatsoever. Notice how I put it 21-16. 16 is a weird number, meaning some weird shit happen and 5-point game, maybe he didn't take some points,
Huh.
leave some leeway there. I'll go
2-point conversions.
Yeah, maybe a little 2-point conversion, maybe because he feels like it and he hates the kicker. So I'll go 21-16, full on negative. I don't care at this point. I'm done.
Hey, we need that.
Yeah,
we need that, right?
I
How many
don't care.
times do we watch TV?
I will
right?
be the guy. I have
game shows.
no problem
where
being the
it's
guy.
all one. Nah, we need that.
Such a joke. Like I go turn on ESPN, right? I just search
Why?
around for something.
Why?
And like I don't want to watch that. Like I got a daughter upstairs, and I got like I will watch it when she plays, but I wouldn't watch it if you put it in my backyard and I didn't know the people playing. Unless it was like Caitlin Clark. Like I'll watch Caitlin Clark stroke threes, that's cool. But like I have no time for layup lines. Like you know what I mean? I have no time to watch it. It's not a shot at women. I love women. It's a shot at the sports. It's boring that way. Like you can't put us in an environment of the fastest game on a basketball court and guys leaping out the fucking gym, that kind of athleticism, and then put us in like a bunch. It looks like a bunch of us are playing when we know they're way more athletic than us. I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's nobody's dunking. You know what I mean? Like it's like some teams are good and they move the ball great and you see like real basketball. But you get what I'm saying? Like I don't need it on ESPN. Like put it on the NBA network or whatever. Put it on something else. There's nothing else to show.
Put it on Lifetime, man.
It's already on Ion.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to get canceled because it's not
already
like
on
that.
Ion.
It's not me being whatever they call that. It's late. I'm not being that because I respect the sport. I'm not watching it. Like, I don't know.
Sucks.
The sport's boring. Like,
They're
why can't I just be
terrible. They
honest?
make no money.
Nobody ever can be honest in 2024.
They make no money.
Boring.
And yet you want to expand teams. Grow up.
God damn it, it's boring. Why can't
Make
we
a
just say
dollar.
it?
Make $1 once.
I don't
Make
care
a dollar.
Right. See, this is where I'm not on that page. I'm not saying I know where you're going. I don't care.
I'm saying if they want to be subsidized, fine, but don't sit there and start expanding when you can't even make $1.
No, like pay. I get the pay. There should never be equal pay because they're not as good. Like it's simple. You're not as good as what we watch in the NBA. It's not as good, and that's okay. But why can't we just be honest? We live in a world of lies. Make sense? It's a world of lies. Like we can't just tell the truth. Like, hey, I don't like something. What? What'd you say? How dare you? How dare you not like it? Like I'm the same guy who wouldn't watch Manchester United and whatever good English fucking Premier team you want to put out in my backyard. I close the blinds. I'm closing the blinds. Have a great game, guys. But if my son plays it, I'll watch it. Like you can have it both ways. Come on.
That's awesome.
Caitlin Clark's great. I don't know where we're going. I don't know where I went, but I just wanted to put something on. I mean, thank God for MLB Network, right? We get to watch a little show. Hey, you know what I mean? You get a little
how
show.
about that play last night? Did you guys see that?
The triple play.
The triple play to end the game and lock the Padres into the. I mean, you want to talk about Tommy?
Hottest team in baseball.
Not only that, but you say this all the time, right? Knowing what to do when the ball gets hit your way. Like Manny Machado didn't flinch. He knew if the ball was hit to him, one step to the bag, a strike to second base, over to first. Miggy Rojas should be on a watch list somewhere with Ohtani on deck. With oh my goodness, that was so awesome last night.
It's like, which way did the ball take me?
Yeah.
Right. It's the 101 of like, is it taking me towards the bag and am I close enough or not? Right.
It was awesome.
So everybody went.
And they're smoking hot.
I see you, Martian. I see you. 12 days. Yo, actually, fun fact, when this New Zealand team comes in to play a preseason game, there's always like some NBA guys that float around on these old teams. I did my
how many days?
We got 12 until we play a team from New Zealand. So I mean, I'm starving for it. But,
Orange and black next week.
Yep.
The Russian.
Jonah Bolden coming back to Philadelphia on that said New Zealand team.
Wow.
Excited.
I'm excited for both.
Jonah Bolden drop. That boy, Luke.
There we go. Yeah, I'm all over it.
I'm excited for both. I'm excited for the Sixers, obviously, and I'm excited for the Flyers too. So, I mean, you should be.
Good time
Players
to be a sports fan right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I love this having the Russian, somebody who can skate. I've been begging for guys that can make plays by themselves. Like, where's the guy who can make a play with nobody else's help?
Yeah.
I need some special guys to be able to do that in hockey. Players of the game, I'll just get both. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
It's got to be.
I think he throws for
many
280,
options.
285. I got him throwing 2 TDs, Saquon rushing for 1, and no turnovers. Clean game.
That would be nice.
Clean game. He can do it. He's done it in the past.
Yep.
He can do it. It's in there. He's got to get back to it. And I said, we got to hold him accountable too. He's a grown man. Like, we can't blame everything on Nick, even though I get this. Like, I'm right there with the psychological side of it and talking about it too much, and then it becomes a thing, right? But you gotta end this stigma. You gotta put an end to it. You gotta end this trend. Cancel the hashtag, right? Like, it's gotta end this trend. And listen, we need it to. So I'm rooting for him. But if he turns the ball over 2 times, fucking 2 times, I'll be on Sunday night.
If there's ever a week, you're absolutely right, Tommy.
Ripping them. Even if they win. Like, if they win, I still got to rip them. Like, you can't keep doing it. We're not going to win in January and February if you're turning the football over. That's when we lose. But maybe it's like to get it out of your system. And hey, get it all out for 25 games in a row. I don't know. Right? But like, we need him just to be better with that specific thing. And he's been playing fine. Besides that, I have no problems. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? I have no issues with Jalen Hurts besides the turnovers. So, I mean, I think that's pretty fair assessment and not being overly critical of everything. You know?
No, I actually think as a leader, he's grown. If you hear everything from locker room perspective, and even after the loss, rallying the team, and obviously throughout the week, it seems like he's stepped back into that leadership role that we expected him to be able to have. So, well, that's encouraging as well.
To that point, Chrome, right? A lot of people were critical of Nick for not talking after the Falcons loss, right? But the report was, once he got in there, Jalen was one of the guys that was already talking to the team and already in the mode, right?
He's a loser. I don't give a shit.
What? I'm talking about Jalen's leadership, right? You can still rip Nick. That's fine. But I'm saying Jalen's leadership is what was to Crumb's point, was on display even before the coach was even in the room, right? Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
That's great. You know what I do? I can't fucking get in there quick enough. All right? I just let a team go down the field in 35 seconds. All right? So I can't get in there quick enough to say the things I need to say. Like, that's what makes me feel like he ain't wheelbarrowing around. You understand? Yeah. He's got like a little he's like tucked in, right? Like, Nick, let him hang. Like, at times you got to let him hang as a coach.
I'll play devil's advocate, though, because if I'm a player and I played that game and I know that he just costed me it, I don't even want to listen to you for 2 freaking seconds. You're talking about adults in that locker room, some of which are not young players and have been around a long time. They might say whatever they want in front of a camera and on local sports radio, whatever the hell they want. Behind closed doors, I guarantee you there's at least a few of those guys saying, this guy's a freaking moron, and I don't want to listen to him talk for 2 seconds. And maybe give Jalen the credit, too.
I can do that
step
everywhere,
up.
though, right?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I can do that in every locker room, though, too. I can do that in every locker room.
No, you're right. Like,
in defense, I'm not saying he's not a weirdo to those guys, but
yeah. But I think when you talk about football specifically, right? I think overall you hear from the coach, but I just think there's something about the game of football.
Yeah.
And your quarterback taking control of a room is so much more powerful than it is if a head coach talks, or a coordinator, or your defensive captain. When a quarterback can go in and rally the troops in the sport of football, I think it's probably the most compelling and powerful thing to motivate a team above all.
But you know what else is compelling and powerful right after that? Is, hey, guys, come on in, right? And I bring everybody in and I say, hey, Jalen, as the leader of this football team, great job, whatever you want to say there, right? And you bring him in and you say, listen, we're going to keep getting after it, brick by brick, right? We don't got to go too deep into this.
Seed by seed.
Yeah, everybody seed by seed. We'll be ready to work. Everybody be ready to work on Tuesday. Everybody be work
That's right.
on Tuesday.
Plant flowers on 3.
But the point is, you gotta say, you just gotta go in and close it out, though.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you, as the man of the freaking room, like you ain't been an assistant coach. You're the head football coach. Like, don't give me that. There's nothing to say. Hey guys, everybody keep their heads up in here, right? Bring it in. Everybody keep their heads up in here. Bring it in. It doesn't have to be this powerful message after the fact. He said what he said is awesome. I love that attitude on Hurts. I love it. But I would also love my coach to know how to read a room, to be able to, hey, like, how many times you do it as an assistant coach too when you're with a head coach? Like in baseball, Greg, for years. Like he says what he has to say. He said everything you had to say, but you just go, hey, blah, blah, blah. You just give a little piece and we bring it in. Like it happens all the time.
Yep.
And it's okay because you're a freaking coach. You should have something to say. How about you say, you know what, guys? We should use Jake a little more. Bring it in. Everybody laughs, right? Everybody laughs. We want it to be all funny. Everybody laughs. So, like, I don't know. I'm getting fired up with him now. You're getting me fired up. You bring up this goddamn after game meeting. You know what I mean?
We were talking about Jalen. It just went off on the
I was
Nick
trying to go,
Sorry.
like, give Jalen props.
We were laying flowers at Jalen's legs, at his feet. And it just went off on a whole other conversation.
Greg's like, hold on, let me just get out like what Jalen did right before we crush Nick here. I said, yeah, you're right. That's what you're saying.
I just find it funny that, towards the end of Doug's tenure, he had to go because he didn't have the guys and it was time to move on. Kind of a similar thing with Andy. And now we have like a treasure chest full of guys that we've been hoping, dreaming, and praying for this whole time. And we have a gym teacher here in charge. And
Well, Doug might be coming to the end of another tenure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Let's
I think you're definitely
Doug
right.
or Nick.
You know what?
I think you're definitely right about that.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not saying Doug's a great coach anymore.
No. I'm not saying that either. But we'll give him the credit because he won the Super Bowl.
It's coming at me. This is coming at me.
Don't worry. It's nothing to do with you. I'm not saying Doug's a great coach anymore. But don't you dare tell me that Doug isn't a better coach than Nick Sirianni.
Oh, not even close.
Don't you dare, Greg. I don't care. Who's got a Super Bowl? Who's got a Super Bowl?
Okay. Yeah, Nick.
No,
Doug does.
No, that's not okay.
Doug does.
The only one in franchise history.
I don't know, man. I think the jury's out on that. I'm not convinced that he's a better head coach.
You can't say that.
They have gotten exceedingly worse.
They stink out.
Trevor Lawrence, who wins at every level, has gotten exceedingly worse at the quarterback position.
Disaster.
No,
but you also have to keep into account how they got here.
We're talking about
You're not wrong.
He's the QB guy.
You have to take into account how he got here.
Bona fide, top-ranked young quarterbacks that have exceedingly regressed under his regime, and that holds a whole lot into question.
You're right, but Sirianni was a moron day one. He was a moron the second he stepped in the room. He didn't call plays in his job before this.
Whose resume's better?
Yes, that's basically what I'm saying.
It's in a hard conversation. One's resume's better.
Yeah,
both have been to Super Bowls. One was close. I mean, you couldn't get any closer without winning. So I'm not. It's not like Nick went to the Super Bowl, got blown out.
But Nick's got to get back there and win one, and then we can say he's better coach.
But he could. Like Doug is
not
like
over.
going.
No. I'm not
Doug's
counting
going
right
backwards. I don't think Doug stinks as a. Well, maybe he might stink as that coach. I love Doug because of what he did here those first 2 years. Got us Super Bowl. You can't take that away.
Doug seems like a good 2 to 3 year guy, right? Doug to me seems like he'll put you in a good spot for 2 or 3 years, and then we're going to go this way, right? And I'm okay with saying that. Right?
But that's not a good head coach then.
But I'm not saying. But we're acting like we know our record over the last 10, 11, 12 games?
Yeah, we don't exactly have Vince Lombardi here, guys.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. We're arguing about two guys that are going south right now. So we probably shouldn't do this tonight. It's stupid. It's because there's no right or wrong here. There's really not a right or wrong here. Oh, Flyers are beating the Islanders. Let's go. Okay, I'm not reading the rest of that.
Yeah, I removed them. I removed them.
Thank you. Wow. I mean,
It definitely went a direction. That's
yeah. Yeah. We're talking about Bill Clinch.
Nick Sirianni has a way better win percentage, by the way.
The only
than
thing Doug's
Doug
better at
Peterson.
is banging secretary. Sorry, did I say that? Damn it.
Well, winning the biggest game in franchise history.
Yes.
I'm just talking to Greg again.
He did that.
Like,
Yeah.
you
won.
can't.
You can't take it away.
We're
You
not
can't take it
talking
away.
about.
I'm with you.
I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about like.
But he stinks out loud right now.
But in Eagles,
Yes.
forget Jacksonville. In
Yeah.
Eagles terms,
Not
he
close.
was a better head coach.
He
And
also
did.
got the most out of not the year he got fired, but before that with Greg Ward and nobody, and we won the division. He got the most out of that group, in my opinion. That group had no business winning the division that year at all.
But Doug's had
None.
strong. And
That
Doug-
year when Dallas came in Philly with a much better team with no injuries and all those guys, we won that game. We're really nitpicking now. We're talking about specific games. I'm just saying, I don't even think it's close at all. I really don't.
he got more out of less for sure.
And here's a stat. I've been keeping this in my back
That's not
pocket
even
the whole
debatable.
time.
That's not even debatable. He got more out of less.
No, yeah, not even close. Here's a stat though. The last 2 seasons before this week, I don't know about now, but before this past week, the Eagles in the last 2 minutes of the game, the last 2 seasons have been the worst team by a fat mile in the NFL. They have given up 140 points in the last 2 minutes in the last
Hembo
18
stat.
games.
That's a Hembo stat. I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and
I feel
you send me
attacked. I feel attacked. Why couldn't it just be a mile? Why'd you have to go fat mile?
because it is a fat mile. Because
Can
you
you
know what
send me that?
Kansas City gives up? You know what Kansas City gave up in that time span? 28. You're talking about over 100 points in under 2 minutes. It's a joke.
That's why Kansas City wins.
He's a disgrace. He's a
That's why-
disgrace.
That's why Kansas City wins.
And
Yeah,
the referees.
you're
right,
not
you
wrong. But you're not wrong.
You guys want to touch on?
I never thought I'd see the day. I might be swaying to your side on this, Greg.
Of what?
The Doug conversation.
Let's go. The boat is wide open. Of
Imagine talking about this with a guy with a fucking statue in front of the stadium.
course. Well, that statue's ridiculous.
Is it?
Yes.
Until we win another one, it's not.
Well, the fact that Bud Light put it up, it makes it ridiculous.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
Because it's not a real statue. Like, it's not like the team said, hey, let's make a statue. Bud Light wanted to do a promotion and gave him a statue.
All right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
That's not a Doug statue. That's a Nick Foles statue.
I think it's even worse.
Let them both enjoy the statue. They
Anyway,
unlike Nick, they got fucking rings.
That's all I'm saying.
They do. They do have rings. I can't deny that.
That's all. I'm just going with the can't deny, and the rest doesn't matter. Phillies. They get a
Uh,
bye. What?
I missed
No,
my
'cause
players of the game.
Because I just went by it. I just drove
Okay,
by it.
let's
So
go.
I thought
Drive by it.
no, I mean,
Before
you
we
guys
get into Phillies talk, though,
would you just
50
read it off
people
then?
watching,
Would you just read
50
it-
people watching, 38 likes. Let's get that up. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a problem.
We need at least 50. I need 12 likes.
I hate the 50. I'm talking about a honeycut man.
I
And-
want a honey cut. I'm just trying to temper expectations.
Well, I'm trying to tell people to hit the goddamn subscribe, Greg, so they get the
Let's
turn
do it.
notifications.
Do it
on.
all. Do
All
it
right?
all.
That's what she said. Do it all.
Yeah, pound the like, and you know the rest of the line.
Oh, I thought we were getting it again.
Link in bio.
Link in bio.
Oh, we gotta make some money here at HU Dave. You guys don't want a super chat? There's a link in her bio.
Josh, hold that thought, Josh, because that's gonna come up in our Phillies talk here in a second.
Player of the game,
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni wins the other team the game. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, come on.
Then out your players of the game. Let's go.
I just did. That's it. I'm not naming Tampa guys, so I'll just put it at that.
No, I like that.
Dodson and Ed Reed Blankenship.
I got Quinyon Mitchell, pick 6.
He's due. He's so close right now.
Pick 6.
He's so close.
Jalen Carter, 2 sacks.
Yeah, I think the train rolls on Barkley. I think he rolls on and keeps going. Another 2 tutties. And I'm with you on Jalen Carter. I think last week was the spark. And I'll tell you what, Jordan Davis, too.
Yeah.
Those two together looked
They played awesome.
tremendous.
They were awesome.
And I hope that is the igniting point for those two guys. Because if they get it together with those two next to each, oh, my God. Jordan Davis, watching him just fucking collapse and fall on top of guys looks like the most painful thing in the world.
Probably
If
not
he
a good
can,
time.
oh my God. The way
Yeah,
they-
Derek Carr wanted no business of that sack. He fell right to the ground.
Oh,
It's a
and they're
big
getting
man.
their hands up, knocking balls. Jalen Carter did everything right this week, and I think it rolls with him too.
Well, I like when you get a
And he
pissed off
needed it.
football team, right? You get a pissed off football team. You know, he's going at guys. I like it. There was a lot of dirty stuff that happened in that football game. That we didn't really get into, nor do we need to. But
Yeah.
you know, Devontae Smith.
Little disappointed that nobody picked up
Blew a
for
whistle.
Darius Slay on that side.
Well, that makes sense. It makes sense. Look at the difference of fight for Devontae.
I think in both cases, I think they could have did a little bit more in terms of picking up their teammates.
I think Jalen was trying to do that.
I think it's a
Jalen
double-edged sword in today's NFL. I'm 1,000% on you with you guys, but I think it's
Always
a double-edged sword in
second
today's
guy.
NFL because they always get the second guy.
Yeah, the Devontae hit smash. The guy should be taken out of the league, and the referee.
100%. But
the referees,
the Slay
the ref-
thing,
the
that
referee should
becomes
get fired.
offsetting penalties. We don't get those yards, right? You know what I mean?
You have guys holding you up, taking you 10 yards backwards.
Yep.
How is that
That's
play not
egregious.
called dead?
That's why I said, how is the whistle not blown? He's pushed 6 yards back.
It's a
By
joke.
yard 2,
You're
by
talking
the
about
second
player
yard
safety.
back, it should be called. And there's 3 guys hanging on him, pushing him.
Yeah, we want to fucking talk about player safety, and we allow that to happen in a football game.
Yeah.
On TV, we allow a small guy to go backwards 8 to 10 yards and get smoked by a 320-pound guy.
Right. When he was drafted, we were concerned about his weight and how he'd hold up. That was really the only time he got hurt, seriously. And it was through
He's smart. The way
something
he
that
plays,
should have been a flat. Yeah, right. He does a great job protecting
he's
his
an
body.
intelligent guy. He doesn't put himself in bad positions. That was the thing with Deshaun, right? Deshaun, I think, was the
Jerry
same
Maguire.
thing.
Yeah.
But Deshaun constantly, I felt like,
Looks
put
worse
himself
than
in
it
some
is.
precarious positions on his routes to get hit. I don't think that he does that at all. And he didn't even do it. He got shoved 6 yards back and they didn't blow the way. It made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Remember like the 10-catch game that he had in Jerry Maguire?
Rod Sidwell?
Yeah, Roddy, in a big game, and he came in and he said, "That always says it doesn't look as bad as it, as it looks," or whatever he said. It's funny. But I always think about that with Devontae Smith. He's a little guy, but you're right. He's always learned how to absorb the hit, right? But you're not absorbing 3. You can absorb hits as a wide receiver, right? You
Not
can
a cheap shot.
because you're not going against guys that are that much bigger than you.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't absorb a hit from a 320-pound defensive tackle
From your
that
blind
wants-
side, from
on your
behind.
blind
Yeah,
side.
cheap shot.
Yeah, a huge cheap shot. Takes your fucking helmet off. Right. It's a joke. And the fact that that guy's suspended yet.
Here, get this. Guess what his fine was?
25,000.
$4,600.
It's a fucking joke. The
Wait,
league's a joke.
what? I
The
didn't
league's a
see
joke.
that.
Roger Goodell's a
Unless the
joke.
tweet I saw was missing his hero, I saw $4,600.
You know what CJGJ got fined for celebrating and taking his helmet off? I think he got 11 grand in the Atlanta game.
You see, they care about the wrong things.
It's probably just based off his salary, how much you made.
Could be. All right.
Oh,
Phillies,
like a percentage, yeah.
Phillies first round bye.
It's a beautiful thing. You get to set up your pitching rotation.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I want number 1 though. I don't want to stop. We got to get 2 out of 3. Throw the starters 5 innings, load up, and I think we got to take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I actually don't want to be the 1 seed.
No.
Me too. I don't
No.
either.
I
Yeah.
don't want to because I think, in a weird way, it's almost good to play on the road in that kind of environment for us.
Well, the
I
other
think
side
that-
of it too is that if the Dodgers are the 1 seed, we know they're not getting there.
You would think, okay, but
Right.
it's
So
hypothetically,
in turn, we are the 1 seed.
right? But I thought of that too. But then I thought of okay, game 7, NLCS. Would I prefer it to be here? For personal reasons, sure, right? Sure, but I don't know if that's where we want that game played at.
Yep.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I want
hear
that
you.
game played here.
I hear you.
You get tight buttholes at home. When you're the dog, you can just go eat.
Right.
When you're the dog, you're house money. If you're the underdog in that game, even though you're a damn good baseball team, you're still the dog. And now you have something to like rally the troops with. And I think this team works better like that. I do. I'm going to stand by that. I think they work better when they have to rally the troops together.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, I'm not scared to have to go to LA. That's for damn sure. Relatively speaking, we've actually had quite a bit of success out there. So, and you can go all the way back to the Matt Stairs moonshot in 08.
I was waiting for it. I love you.
So, you know.
So rotation is what? Wheeler, Nola, Ranger?
That's an interesting scenario.
Or Sanchez.
That's an interesting scenario, right? Because in
I
theory,
think you got to go Sanchez.
But we also know
Ranger postseason is a different dog.
Well, not only that, I'm more thinking Christopher Sanchez just because of how different his splits are home versus road. He is a much better pitcher at home than he is on the road.
Definitely.
And so I wonder if you match it up that way because we can set it up that way, right? Because we got the
bye. I mean, he's got
set
an
it up
ER.
where it goes Nola, Wheeler, Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola, Ranger.
Yeah, to your point, Greg, Mr. Sanchez has an ERA over 5 on the road and just over 2 at home.
I think Ranger's a guy. Well, you don't have to throw him. Well, in a 7-game year, you do.
You don't have to. You're right, because that comes into. There's 3 things that somewhat worry me. I'm going to gauge your guys' thoughts on them as well, right? Ranger Suarez, naturally. Trey Turner's defense, and Carlos Estevez. What is your nervous factor on those 3?
Say it. I'm worried about Ranger. He has not been the same the second half of the season. Of course, I didn't expect him to have the same awesome pace that he did the first 2 months of the year, but he's I think the amount of innings is definitely caught up to him.
It could be that with Ranger, right? But I'll go. What was the third one? It was Turner's defense and Estevez?
Ranger and Estevez. It just feels like he gets it done, but it feels like there's a lot of hard contact recently.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about him because he's got a track record of being pretty good, right?
I agree.
I'll worry more about Trey's defense if I had to pick something. But if I can go and add a fourth, right, like none of the above, I would honestly say this offense. You want my honest to God's opinion? Like, that's my biggest concern. Because when they disappear in a big way.
Yeah.
And when they're here, they'll beat anybody in the world. But what offense are we getting?
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's an advantage of us having the bye. It's less baseball. You don't wear out as quick. And that breather, I'm telling you, like, we're not the youngest team around.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're a veteran group. We know it. We get it. And
that's been banged up at that.
Yeah, those bodies just getting those extra 4 days, 5 days, whatever it is. It helps. I know you're practicing.
It
practice,
makes sense.
But when you practice, it feels right. When you practice swinging, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go swing this as hard as I can. You're more practicing feels when you're taking BP and shit. So you're not putting as much stress on your body.
And that's kind of the answer Rob gave too, because somebody asked him, "What's the most important thing in Washington?" And he said health. So I think they're kind of on that same mindset, Tommy, of, yeah, all right, they got the bye. That was what they wanted, right? If it ended up being 1, then it is. But they're not going to go chase 1 now that they got the bye.
Dodgers are up right now, 3-2.
Okay.
While we're on the conversation.
So, but that's what Rob said. He said health, right? The pitchers are all going to pitch, but I would bet you they pitch 5 innings or 6 innings, depending on pitch count. I bet you they don't reach 90 pitches, right, over the next 3 games, but they're all going to throw. And they're probably going to work some guys in and get some guys some days off outside of Castellanos.
Yeah. No day off, Nick.
No day off, Nick. But he's swinging the bat really well right now. And,
yeah.
and it looks like Stott's starting to wake up a little bit. And if we can get Casti and Stott and Marshy had a big hit tonight, if we can get those guys rolling, whew, I hope so.
So what do you think, guys? World Series?
Oh, absolutely.
Martian, that's facts.
It's World
facts.
Series. It's World Series, man. There's no two ways about it.
I'm trying not to get too ahead of ourselves, right? But clinching Game 6 of the World Series just happens to be on one of the greatest days ever in the world. So I'm just going to throw that out there. That might come back to haunt us because it's me, right? But Game 6 of the World Series just happens to be on the most epic day in the world.
Birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And like I said, that might come back to haunt
us.
us, right? Like that because it's me, right? We know my luck and my mush factor.
It's all right. We're going to have to win it in 5 then, Greg.
Short series.
Let's go.
It'd definitely be on the road, right? Because if we're on the
Yep.
World Series, then we're on the road.
Yep.
Well, you know what Rangers' problem is? Just looking up stats. Rangers' problem is his walks.
I think that's a team problem over the last 2 months.
Well, when he doesn't live in the zone, when he nibbles is when he struggles. He doesn't trust
100%.
himself. So, but
I just don't think Rangers been right since his injury.
Correct. And his fastball hasn't been, his velocity hasn't quite been there either.
In his 3-game series or a 5-game series, he's definitely not pitching out of the rotation. In a 7-game series, he doesn't really have to pitch out of the rotation, right? They're going to, right? Because I don't think you can put it better outside of a short-rested Wheeler. I don't think you have a better option than Ranger in Game 4.
he's been a big game pitcher. That's why you're almost obligated to test him, but it's not the time to test him either. But he's also shown the ability to come out of the pen,
yes,
and be great there. So I think when they look about wear and tear to this whole conversation, they probably are thinking, well, he's come out of the pen and been extremely successful in the postseason. You know, that's a better option than putting Sanchez in the pen. We just got to make sure we're throwing Christopher at home.
Yeah.
So that's where in a 7-gamer, if you say you're playing the Dodgers, right? They might throw Sanchez in Game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, they might if you're home in a 7-gamer, my point is
they might go Noel. Yeah.
They might go Sanchez at home Game 2.
Yeah.
And Noel on the road. Because he's obviously thrown well on the road plenty of times, depending on where they're at.
Yeah, that won't bother him at all, right?
So, that's smart coaching if they're looking at these things and thinking about how they can help their team. Ranger out of the bullpen's been a weapon in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So he's comfortable with it. He's cool as a cucumber, as they like to say. And I do trust him there no matter what. Like for an inning, I trust him to get outs.
Mm-hmm. And that, to your point, that might be the best way to use him if there is internal thoughts and worries about him over 4, 5, 6 innings, right?
Conball, you can't come in here and say you gave the same guys I gave. Look at you. I love it. I do think they go to a World Series, though. I want to believe that.
Topper said today, I mean, I know it's coach talk, right? But he said today this is the best team that he thinks he's had.
Well, I hope so.
He thinks they're the most balanced and they're deepest and they're most battle tested.
Cotton ball for you and anybody else who might have missed the Eagles conversation. You don't have to miss it. You can always go back once we go off and check it out. Check out the archives.
Real talk.
Yeah, I can't say I'm as confident as I was 3 months ago or 4 months ago for them World Series. I do think the upper echelon is tough. I don't think that the National League is as close. So I really feel like I know that San Diego is playing really, really well right now, but they turn into a pumpkin every time the clock strikes playoffs. So that's a team I'm not extremely concerned about for the Phillies. And it's kind of been the same for the Dodgers outside of the COVID year. So I do think it's open for them. But like you guys said, you cannot have everybody in this lineup stop hitting at one time. It happens during the regular season a lot. I feel like it happened at the end of the playoffs, those last couple games last year. You cannot have that happen again. If one guy's not hitting, that's fine. Maybe two. But you cannot have, 65 or 70% of your lineup and like four of your top tier guys not hitting. So they hit. I think that their chances are extremely, extremely high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
I
I
don't
think
think the National League is a gauntlet.
I think that's a good point, though, Chrome. Like, you're right. Outside of San Diego right now, the rest of all of baseball is
Dodgers have looked like pedestrians.
Is blah, right? You know what I mean? Like, but you even look over in the American League, like, yeah, the Yankees just clinched, but they still haven't clinched the division yet.
Right.
And they got beat tonight. They got waxed tonight because I bet them. Right, you know what I mean? Like, and the Orioles were the talk of the town, 110 games, and they're limping it too. So, I think every team obviously is flawed in ways.
No.
And I think it's probably the most wide open year that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, there's not really a clear winner.
Yeah, there's no great team out there, but there's a lot of good ones, and I don't know. I just think every team, as you said, every team has their warts in some form or fashion, and we just hope, obviously, for us that we can hide our warts for another month here.
Yeah,
and bring home a trophy.
That's all we're trying to do. Right?
So, yeah, I mean, look, if we hit. And I know you guys talked about this before. If we hit, we'll be fine. I really believe that. I mean, our pitching's pretty solid. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's certainly good enough to get us a title.
I mean, for once in a long time, though, I'm not really concerned with our bullpen, especially with our leverage guys.
I think it's your best.
Yeah,
and especially in a playoffs where you get off days, right? You know what I mean? I mean, between Strom, Kirkring, Hoffman, Estevez, and then you sprinkle in some Alvarado, right? You sprinkle in, that's really the only guy you're sprinkling in.
Well, you might be sprinkling Ranger out of the book.
Or Ranger, yeah.
Honestly,
he's very versatile.
I mean, arguably, your bullpen is your strongest
100%
unit on this team. And
100%.
when you look at offense and starting pitching and everything else, defensively, even your bullpen is probably the strongest characteristic and strongest group on this team right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
My biggest concern is our defense because let's face it, at times we've been very sloppy in the field this year. I think
it's fair.
Without a doubt. I mean, let's face it, the bats are going to come and go. I mean, yes, we can't have them all fall apart, but you're going to have to win some 3-2 ball games, 2-1 ball games. Well, in order to do that, you better make plays behind these pitchers, behind Wheeler, Nola, and the like. And I don't know how confident I am in that.
So what's the rotation now? I guess it's going to be what? Wheeler, Nola, Sanchez.
You think in theory it would be that.
Yeah.
Or they go Ranger Sanchez. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that they would skip Sanchez for Ranger the way the last 2 months have gone. I can't fathom that. Yeah. But I think depending on the match, I think 1-2 is locked. Unless they really look into it and obviously have that internal conversation about starting Sanchez at home just because of the splits.
Sure.
Because like even today, I thought he pitched really good today. They also had some really good at bats against them, right? And it drove the count up.
He had a lot of full counts, and he struggled putting away hitters at times. And of course, he gave up that 3-run dinger. But I mean, he hung in there. But yeah, this definitely wasn't one of his better starts.
Yeah.
But overall, I think he'll be fine, and I would trust him in like a game 3 situation in the postseason. I mean, I'd trust him to at least give us 5 or 6 quality innings.
No, absolutely, and I think that's one of the better things about him is even when he's off, he battles, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think
there's very few times where I've seen him get his ass handed to him and he get completely shelled. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there was that start at Wrigley in July, but that seems to be more of an outlier than the rule,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's now or never. And I don't mean they can't come win it next year. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go out there and say, like, oh, they can never win it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it gets harder and harder the older you get.
100%.
Yeah.
So this game's a grind, and it's a long season. And you have opportunities don't come every time. Health is something you don't get every year. So when you have an opportunity to do something to be remembered forever, you got to capitalize. You got to capitalize on the opportunity, and this is what these guys were signed here and brought here to do.
Yep.
And Bryce Harper's legacy, like as a winner, like forget the rest, right? Because we know how clutch he is. We know how great of a player he is. He's going to be a Hall of Fame player. Nobody's talking about that. But winning takes you to another level, right?
Yep.
Just does.
Well, the thing too is like after next year, you start turning the page on some of these. You might start turning the page because you only got one more year left on Schwarber's deal, and I think Cassie's coming up.
So he's got 2. He's got 2. Yeah, you're right. You got one more year.
You start one by one.
Two at Casty.
You start looking to replace some of these guys. How long? And how long's real? I know Real Muto re-upped. How long?
Probably 2, 3.
So,
but the other side of that coin, Chrome, and I'm sorry, are you done?
Oh, I was just gonna. Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say
the other side of that is you got to make a decision with Stott and Marsh.
Exactly.
And Bomer needs Bomer's going to be up for a bigger extension, right? Because they're going through arbitration right now with Bomer, and we've seen what arbitration has done in years past with players, not always necessarily here, but in other situations, right? That's not a fun process to go through every year. So no, you're right. This is a crucial time with everybody's contract situation. Bryce wants a new one, right? To Tommy's point, Bryce wants an extension, wants to ensure that he's here forever. Well, you want to stamp that home. Let's party down Broad Street, and then we'll sign you to whatever the hell you want.
Imagine like saying, I want an extension to be here forever, and you're going to be here when you're 40. Like what do you talk about? I mean, that still makes me laugh. Like, yeah, but go ahead. If you ride a fucking Clydesdale down Broad Street, after a World Series win, I'll give you a 30-year deal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit about the money then. And neither does John. So, listen, time's his. Because he can single-handedly, in the biggest team sport in the world, he can single-handedly carry a baseball team. He can carry them to a postseason. Carry them to a World Series. He absolutely can. So we can't have Bryce Harper ending the postseason batting 200.
Yep.
Like we talk about posters and we talk about all the other things, and Bryce is my guy. Love Bryce. Got to have a monster postseason, man.
Yep.
And he knows it. I'm not telling him nothing he don't know. Right? I'm not Elliott Shore Parks in here. Like no turnovers. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be locked in, and he's got to have it. Like don't get up with the kids in the middle of the night, Bryce. Like no taking them to school. Like you got to be just. I'm in my own. You get in the basement, right? Blackout blinds. Like you know what I mean. It's got to be locked in, ready to go, and that goes for not just him. JT too. I mean, JT
2020 COVID lockdown all over again.
Well, you saw all the babies in the celebration, right out in the field. Everyone's got them.
It's a loaded roster. A lot of, Yeah, I mean, a lot of good times.
Yeah.
Right, a lot
There's
of
a
good
lot of
times.
celebrating at home going on.
Yep. Well, too many wins is what you get. Right, guys are winning. A little sippy poo.
And to your point,
let's have a
Tommy, right?
fit.
Like when you're the leader of the failure from last year, you can't make that 2 years in a row. And I'm not saying a collapse would happen, but you were the leader and an underperformer in those last 3 games as well.
You can't
right?
be the Buffalo Bills.
You were a part of those. You were part of the top 3 in the lineup that did nothing in games 5, 6, and 7.
Yep. Never forget.
So you have to be able to overcome that.
You got to.
Boys, I got a call tonight.
Yeah, we're going in a minute here too. I don't know why I can't believe we're still going here. But it's Eagle season. Later, Noah. Love you, brother.
See you,
All
brother.
right. Take care, boys. See you.
So as we get out of here, like he does have to have a monster postseason. So does JT. So does
Yeah.
Trey. Like, I mean, JT's getting old.
Yeah.
Like, Raphael Marchand probably should be the backup next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's some things that
Did he not leave?
I think he just closed it.
he's something. You know what I mean?
Can we get a new fucking playoff song this year if you're gonna have a song going? Like, are they gonna pull that same bullshit
I'm
out?
fully with you. I couldn't be more with you.
It makes appearances, but they have a whole. You didn't watch the other night. They have a whole new playlist.
Yeah, but the problem is that if that song comes on once, that's all anyone will talk about. So they can't play it at all.
It's a part of it.
Because that's what happened. That's what I'm with you.
They're allowed to listen to the goddamn song. They just can't make
no,
you're wrong. You can't make it your song.
No, we're not popping bottles.
The fans are going to do that.
Around on our own.
Yes.
None of that bullshit.
Yeah,
Guys
the fans are going to. They're not going to do it. The fans are going to do it.
You're missing what I'm saying. Fans can do whatever the hell they want to do because half of them are morons. Okay, but the players can have whatever they want.
The players, they ain't dancing to that shit.
They can dance. They can have it in their playlist. They can't be their opening song because that's an opening song.
I disagree.
That song has bad juju all over it again.
Fully with you.
That song. Hold on. That song. You went to a World Series. You went to an NLCS.
Yep.
Now you say to yourself, can't open with it because it's not our song. But you can put it.
We're regressing. So now you're going to lose in the first round.
No.
You're going to lose in a divisional series now.
Then you want them to play. So then you want them to play.
No, I don't want them to play it. I don't want them to lose.
They're playing it in the middle of their playlist.
They can't be put on at all.
No,
that's all anyone will talk about. That's
I don't care what
talk about.
I don't. Well, that's idiots. They got to do what's best for them.
Well, they're not.
It's clearly not best for them, Tom.
Hold on. It's still part of their identity, their postseason identity. It's part of their
which is
identity.
that is associated with identity of failure.
Yeah, I don't want that identity.
Are we doing this? I don't give a shit about the song. What I care about is a World Series.
Looks like I really don't either. I'm just fucking around.
This is great. It's great. I get what we were doing. Like, I don't even know what I'm arguing about. You guys are probably right. You guys are definitely probably right. Like, once I start getting 2 versus 1, I'm like, yeah, you sit this one out, Tom. You know what I mean?
No Diddy.
No Diddy. But
no Diddy.
Listen, they just got to win, man. They just got to win. And
window's closing, so
sure is.
And this is the lineup to do it. This is the rotation to do it. This is the bullpen to do it. I mean, like Robbie said,
that I think is the key.
Well, listen, what do we talk about? What do we talk about? Beat a copycat. Right? Without the trash cans. Take the trash cans out.
Trash cans.
Take the trash cans. Take the trash cans away. But beat a copycat of why they really did win. And why they won was they had 3 really good starters, right? And then they go to the pen and they would fucking mow you down. They would each. No, I'm talking about Houston. I'm talking about Houston.
Yeah.
You copy the model of what they've done to teams, and it's like really good lineup. Hey, we have 1-2, really good starting pitching. But that bullpen, like most teams want to get into it. You wanted the starter to stay when you played Houston.
You wanted to get out of it.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to see you guys. Keep him in. No, you can't go to the pen. Right? So with the Phillies, I'm not saying you're there, but you're close. I mean, his bullpen is really good.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be, and it's definitely revamped, right, than what we came into. And it's been revamped in a great way. And Dave Nebraska has a lot of credit. And then you add Ranger into that mix in the postseason. Let's go.
And you guys know 10 times more about baseball than I do, so I'll leave it to you. But when you talk about prediction, That's why I'm gonna go on like DraftKings and just play around with a little $10 on the Astros, because why not? When you talk about it's up for grabs, like why
They
not?
win.
Why? Yeah,
They
like
win.
why not then? Why not then?
Have a little
Like,
fun
you know
with
what
yourself. Why don't you do a little parlay? Do
I mean,
Phillies
I can
World
tell you why
Series,
not, but yeah, it's not bad.
You guys want the
Eagles
inside?
NFC champion, and
Oh, no
Sixers
chance of
Eastern
that. I might
Conference
as
champion.
you
Do
got a
little
lighter?
parlay there.
You got a lighter? We'll
I
burn
do.
money. Let's burn money.
Oh,
No shot.
shit. Now I forgot what I was going to just tell you guys. I had something good. Damn it.
Just for the hell of it, I'm going to see what the parlay would pay out on FanDuel.
Giddy up, Don. I'm so pumped on the Tiger. What a run the Tigers are on.
Oh, yeah. No question about it, Greg.
That is so awesome. In theory, everyone thought they were selling at the deadline. I mean, I even thought that they would
They
trade
thought.
Scooby Snacks.
They thought they were selling.
And they are, I mean, they're almost in. I don't know. Did Miami or Minnesota win tonight, Don? I could also look it up.
They have
as
a
well.
2-game advantage right now
It's gonna
in the
hit
wild card.
The Twins won, Don said.
Oh, shit. They got blown out. Miami did. I bet Miami.
Don's a mess. Right?
Well done, Don.
Don's
Good
a
call,
mess.
Connie.
Congrats
But
on
yes.
Michigan too, Don. Congrats. Big win.
F them. They
Oh,
stink.
here he goes.
They stink.
Here he goes. You guys were running around, not you, but you know, I mean, don't
Oh, I'm not running anywhere.
keep your pants on up there.
Yeah. No, the pants are they're strapped the same way they are with the Eagles. The same, it couldn't be more similar.
It's almost 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
so I can say keep your pants tight.
Yeah, no, the pants are on tight. Pants are definitely on tight.
Jerry's cousin walking around.
So you do Phillies to win the World Series plus 420. Eagles to
Great
win
number.
the
Great
That's,
Eagles
odds.
to-
that's high to me.
Eagles to win the NFC plus 500, and the Sixers to win the Eastern Conference plus 440. $10 bet gets you $16.74.80.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and
That's
I'm
plus
probably gonna regret
623.
doing this, but I'm gonna go on a limb. I think, given the current stature of what is the coaches and all that crap, I think with the curses and the injuries and what we do know that's coming, I think the Sixers have a better chance of winning the Eastern Conference than the Eagles do winning the NFC. And I know no one here is going to agree with me, but I'll stand by that.
What? This being number one seed?
I just have no faith. That's pretty much.
No,
I don't
no.
have,
The Sixers, number one seed.
No. Win like throughout the playoffs.
Huh.
Win
Like win the
that's
conference.
that's
yeah.
how
Right, left.
that's
Okay.
how down bad I am about the current situation.
Well, I think the Sixers absolutely can win the Eastern Conference if they're there, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, another day.
But I think you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah,
If you don't like, even with Nick Sirianni being a moron, like I think you're out of your damn mind if you don't think this football team is the best team in the NFC East. Like I think you're out
I
of your
think
mind.
they totally are. No. I said that go to a Super Bowl.
Oh. Gotcha. If they don't, everybody needs to get fired.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So it's Super Bowl or bust for the Philadelphia Eagles as we close this show out. And if anybody out there's like, no, same thing for the Phillies. We hold our teams to a standard here.
No, it's
Okay.
gotta be.
When you're knocking on heaven's door,
Knocking
Knocking
on
on
heaven's
heaven's
door.
we'll leave that to Crum and Wills next time. But like in the garage days.
The good old days.
But the Phillies, you can't be the Buffalo Bills. You can't be like, right? Like I'm there, but I can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get over the hump. And it's okay to like get there, take a step back, and then learn what
Punch
it
yourself
takes.
in the dick. Oh,
Like take a punch, take a big blow in an LCS, and then take those punches, come back, win the NL East, okay? Win the NL East, play great baseball coming out right out the gate. Right out the gate, this baseball team said, fuck last year, besides the Braves series, F last year,
Yeah.
we're just going to go beat everybody. And that's what they did, right? So to remember what they did. So I'm trying to remember that to give myself the confidence, right? That they know what it takes now, right? They're battle tested. They know what it takes. Now you got to go do it. So here I am, because this is what I live for. This is what we all live for. I live for Broad Street, and we all do, and we're not there enough.
Yep.
We're not there enough, and we fucking deserve it. Like New York don't deserve all that shit. Like,
New York
we
doesn't
deserve
deserve
that.
donkey dick.
We go to New York. All right.
Fuck New York.
I mean, New York's a gigantic city, and there's some beautiful parts of New York. Don't get me wrong. But
No,
there is.
there's
Greg.
not.
Well, there is. I mean, it's a worldwide leader of real talk, right? We're not going to come on here.
There's nothing good about New York.
Well, there's some good things about New York. I'm not a New Yorker. Okay. I don't want to go to New York. I want no parts of it. I did my New York runs at 18 years old, driving up the turnpike, right? It was packing the good stuff. You know what I mean? You know, we did those rides, all right, back in our primes. And it was a great time. We danced around Times Square.
Were you dancing on your own?
We were in Times Square. We used to drive down in Camden late at night. We used to drive down Camden late at night and just get out the car and start shimmying with people. We were a problem. I can't believe we're all still alive. But yeah, we used to do the New York trip. But it's too much, right? New York's too much. They don't deserve all that. Too many people. Calm down, right? We deserve more, right? They're semi-fraudish up there. Not the diehards, but it's just too many people. And it becomes too many frauds, right? You know where I'm going with that? When you're overpopulated as a fan base, you get too many morons. We deserve it, and we deserve it.
We do deserve it.
We deserve a Phillies. We absolutely deserve a goddamn Sixers. That's way overdue.
Oh.
And the Flyers are more overdue than anybody. But we're a little bit away for the Flyers. We're a year or two away from having that conversation. Agree or disagree? Or disagree?
Agree.
I'm not, okay.
I think you might break. I think you might break through this year.
Like playoff teams,
and make a playoffs back, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable expectation, because you look at last year, they're in the playoffs if we don't lose 10 out of our last 11 games.
Yeah.
Right? So we were there. We were talking about knocking on the door.
Yeah.
We were there. But yes, I think we can break through. But yes, 2 years, maybe 3 from a legit cup contender. Better coach.
Well, yeah, I think I'd fire Nick. But I mean, I don't know. I got to see.
If you got to a conference championship?
Yeah, I don't know. Can I see how that plays out? I can't answer that. Probably not. But I got to see how that game plays out. Because if that game plays out where, hey, Nicky's fingers all over her. Look at him. He's so handsy, right? Then maybe I got to fire him. I don't know. So it's a question I can't answer. I'm sorry, because I love answering questions, but I can't answer that. I don't know.
I love answering questions.
Yeah, because I'm a guy who lives it. Like, I'm going to see it. Like, just we're talking about kicking the field goal, nothing game. Like,
they better worry. They better worry about winning the division before winning anything else.
That's what my kids don't understand that play for me. Is I win games. I'll win games for them. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a field guy. I'm not great at everything, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm not the best coach of all time. I'm not doing all that. But I'm a great. I got a good feel for like who in what spot, right? Who's up next to throw, right? When somebody has it, when somebody doesn't. I mean, it doesn't always work. You get what I'm saying? Like, do I put this guy on and take a chance? Right? This guy's worn me out all day, base open, right? Like little shit. Like, that's what I don't understand. It's not hard. That's why I'm trying to talk to Nick. Like, hey, Nick, it's not hard. So, Kai, I got to see Kai. You know what I mean? I got to see Kai. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah. Giddy up.
Anybody got anything else?
Georgia. Go Georgia.
Who's Georgia play?
Bama.
Here we go. Why is Cats up? What's
GBR, go Big Red.
Playing well. Lost a tough one. Shouldn't have lost it.
Shouldn't have lost it.
Shouldn't have lost it.
Classic Matt Rule.
You guys suck. And why I say that, you guys suck, because I haven't been able to watch any college football besides week 1. So I'm not happy. Like, you guys are talking Spanish right now. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's like when we talk baseball. It's like Luke when we talking baseball, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Hey, Tom, you got to deal with intro to Spanish today. All right. Oh, God. But no, I can't wait to watch it. I mean, who would you say looks the best right now?
The best?
Yeah.
Texas looks really good.
Well,
yeah,
Archie
but outside of Michigan, though, they really haven't played anybody.
did
Yeah,
Archie,
but that's a lot.
I
of
understand
matches.
that's everybody, yes.
Yeah.
Is that-
But
did
outside of
Archie-
Michigan, they haven't played anybody.
well, yeah, you
And
haven't
Michigan,
gotten
we know, stinks this year.
we haven't gotten the
Reasonable.
conference shit yet, really. You know what I mean?
No,
We
and
just started. We just started.
They do play a very tough schedule once they get into the thick
Well,
of it.
Yeah,
Is Archie starting now?
For
just
now,
because
yeah,
Quinn's hurt, yes.
So it is good with Archie starting as with Quinn?
yes,
Right now they are because
they're playing.
they're
nobody.
playing Sisters
Like,
Mary's
does he look good though?
He's in a perfect situation.
Yeah.
They have NFL. They
No,
have
no,
three
I got-
NFL offensive linemen. They have.
You guys got fucking eyeballs. Knock it off. You guys got eyeballs. I don't give a shit about all that. How's his rhythm? How's his timing? Like,
stud.
does he look
Oh,
like
yeah, he's
Yeah.
done.
he's a real
Stud.
deal Holyfield?
Stud.
Like, I love pedigree talking. You know what I mean? It's like, why is
Stud.
it's like the same thing as like, why do kids look like you? You know what I mean? It's so interesting to me. Like, how do you have features like that? Like, how do you have a freckle the same spot I do?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, you got a dimple there. Like, why? I think that stuff's fascinating. Same with this. You know what I mean? I find that fascinating. I find
he's
the
a stud.
pedigree. Like, how do you just good? And then I'll tell you guys a quick one and we'll get out of here. It's like the same thing you do, like I did with Castaway, right? Like, if you bring them around it,
Yeah.
they want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And they love it. So you think about like all the players, kids that play that were just around it.
Yeah.
That's what they know. And like when you're a sponge, like a 4 or 5-year-old, and you're sponging,
Yep.
you're just picking up what guys are doing. Nobody even has to teach you anything.
Yeah.
You're just sponging because you actually have the ability to learn, unlike a fucking 14-year-old. You know what I mean?
Don's right. Tennessee does look good.
Yeah.
Yup, you're right, Don. I did hear that.
They didn't blow Oklahoma out, but Oklahoma's pretty decent.
No, that was pretty one-sided for the most
It
part,
was,
I
but
would say.
just the points weren't there, right?
Yeah.
But thankfully, I had the under, so we kind of figured that out. But
You guys are worried about the fucking Commanders. Can we stop it? Can we stop it?
I'm a little bit worried. I'll
Oh
be
my
honest.
God! Shut the hell up! You guys are out of your minds, lady.
No.
We're worried
What?
about the Commanders. When the
I
Commanders
said
win
that before the season started. It
Me
wouldn't shock
too.
me if they
Me
finished second
too.
in the division.
I said the same. I have a bet on them on my phone at the beginning of the season making the playoffs.
No. Let's not misguide this. Let's not change the narrative of this. Nobody's saying they can't come in second in division. What we're saying is I ain't concerned about them. They're not better than us. That's the point. So if we think they're better than us, that's where I'm like, well, what are we talking about?
I think we can go on the field any given day and lose to anybody.
Hold on.
That's all I'm saying. That's
no, and
that's
that's
the
fair.
NFL.
That's fair.
no. But I think our talent, we should be a top 2, borderline top 1 team in the entire NFL.
So the Washington Commanders are not better than us, so they shouldn't be a concern of ours.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because we don't score enough points to
No.
be
Yeah.
better than
If
anybody.
you guys want to talk to me next year that the Commanders are a threat to win the NFC East, I'm right there with you. The Commanders should not be a threat to win the NFC East, and it shouldn't be like an Elliott Shore Parks conversation where this isn't talked about.
I think we're
Because-
better than the Falcons, but we lost to them. I think
That's the
it's same
point.
thing.
We're not talking head to head. I'm talking about an overall 17-game schedule.
Yeah,
The Washington Commanders are not better than the Philadelphia Eagles.
remains to be
Dan
seen.
Quinn stinks as a head coach.
Would you stop? It remains to be seen.
Remains
Would
to be
you-
seen.
See, this is where you're living in a moment of a big win.
I'm not living in the moment.
Monday
This happened
night,
last year too.
They're
I'm not living in
better.
the moment.
Listen, they are better.
You're not living in the moment, Luke.
I'm not living in the moment.
Guys,
Did you
guys,
not the
Cincinnati's
collapse of last
bad.
year?
Guys,
We lost
Cincinnati's
10 of our last
bad.
12
Guys,
games.
they can be better. They can be better and still not a concern. They could be going in the right direction and still not be a concern right now to challenge us for the NFC East. That's the point. Not that they can't come in second and win 9 games. Nobody's saying it. Or win 10 games, right? Nobody's saying that. But they shouldn't be winning 12 or 13 like us. So which makes
We're
it-
not winning 12 or 13.
That's not. Yes, we should though.
I
Yes, we
agree with
should,
you,
though.
but we're not. We're not
But-
going to.
Remain to be seen then, right? It's the same conversation. Like, it remains to be seen with you too. Like, everything remains to be seen. But
Yeah, but I'm
strictly,
putting my faith in the movies that
you're
I've
putting
seen.
your faith in Dan goddamn Quinn, who's failed as that coach.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
A rookie quarterback who's
I'm
played
That's
not
who
saying
it is.
I
a
didn't
rookie
say I'm
quarterback who thrown his first touchdown pass in week 3.
not
That's what
saying
I'm
I
saying.
predicted them to win the division. I said yes, they could be slated as concerned, 100%.
He thrown his first touchdown pass in week 3. He's playing really good. I like the kid. Can
To
we
an offensive
stop?
lineman.
Yeah, can we slow down and let guys? You give guys a minute. He's super talented. Hold on, he's super talented. They're not ready to compete for stuff yet. They're not.
He is the best in the draft.
Question.
I definitely said that pre-draft.
I think Chicago missed big time.
100%.
Right? Somebody asked about Caleb, right?
They're balling if they have Jaden.
I agree with that. That's where I agree. I'm not saying anything about the quarterback because that's where I said they're going in the right direction. You understand? I just don't think it's a CJ Stroud situation because I don't think the talent around totally is there yet.
Yeah.
It's okay. You think they're winning 11 goddamn games.
No, I think they can win 11 games.
That would be
Scary Terry ain't a bad place to start, though.
But that's it.
They're not as good as us.
They're not even close to as good as us.
That's all the conversation is.
To me, the conversation is how many wins are you going to string up? And we're talking about a guy who's led us to losing 10 of our last whatever it is. So
imagine putting that much faith in Joshua Harris. Are you out of your mind?
I'm also talking about one season. This could fall off a cliff just like the Sixers did.
Oh my God!
When Embiid walked in, he looked like he was going to own the entire NBA, and then he didn't treat it right.
What's your schedule tomorrow? What's your schedule tomorrow? You know your schedule. I got to serious go. What's your schedule tomorrow?
Tomorrow I got a little 9 a.m. Then we got a little 3 a.m. and then we got the
3 p.m.
plan. Yes, sorry. Then the plan is to be at the bar for the big weekend by 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Man, you got a 9 and a 3. I mean, get your act together. What year are you? Are you a junior?
No, I'm a senior.
You're a senior? Get your life together. What you got 9 and a 3 for? Why can't you get something closer? Why do you get such a drop? Why do you get such a big
you only got so many options. But now we got the online options now.
Are you going far? Are you going like when you going to the first class and back to your place? Is it a hike?
It's all 15, 20-minute walk. Not bad.
All right. And then the next one, 15, 20?
Yeah, it's all around the
all
same.
Right. I'll slow down. I mean, schools, get your life together. It's like tournament directors. Like, it's the same thing. It's like crumb in a week. Like, get your lives together. Like, all the gaps in games, and we string this shit along, and we're fucking playing until goddamn 9 o'clock at night. And when we got there at 7, like, can we condense this a little bit? Like, can we go to an hour, like 40 drop dead scenario? Like, you can only pick off once. Like, can we speed it up? Like, seriously. Like, in travel ball world, it should be sped up.
Yeah.
In baseball, it shouldn't. But in the travel ball world, like, if Major League Baseball is speeding it up, why aren't we? But you know what I mean? In some fashion, we should speed up the game because, first off, you're not getting games fully in sometimes because of the time limit. So you go hour 40, games become quicker. You get more games. I don't know. It's just everybody's a crumb. So college, the people who help pick class for college, it's probably you now, but you're a crumb. And their options are crumbs. Their options.
Yes, that is a problem. But you could just go online. Which
no, options are crumbs because some people learn better in person. So option-wise, they're crumbs. And tournament directors are crumbs.
There you go.
Because everybody's a moron. Everybody's a moron. Good night, everybody. Anybody got anything else to say?
Well, I think part of the problem is I'm a journalism major and I got to learn about Spanish. So to graduate, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 2 years of Spanish.
What the?
No need for that. I'm never using that.
No bueno.
No bueno.
When in Rome, you say. Oh, when in Spain.
What a disaster. Yeah, let's end the show. Don, 1 more hour. Let's go. I got a hurricane coming. Come on.
Yeah, Greg's great. Stay safe. We're
good. We're good. We're insulated.
Yeah, you're in the middle.
Yeah, we're good.
You're good. You get some things blown around.
A little wind, little rain. I hope you lose power for like.
Where's it hitting? Is it hitting by my mom?
No, it actually made a little bit turn left, so it's not even going to hit Tampa. It's gonna scrape. It's scraping the West Coast, but it's going to hit more Panhandle.
Yeah, you're looking at like Gulf Breeze, that kind of area.
Yeah.
Oh, praying for everybody out there.
Tomorrow's supposed to be it, really.
Listen, get out of there, okay? Anybody down there, get the hell out of there.
Oh yeah,
Don't
if you're deep
don't be a hero.
Southwest, definitely get out for sure.
Don't be a hero. It's not something to fuck with.
Hurricane Sirianni coming to Tampa.
Here we go.
Blow the whole thing up.
Yep.
I was trying to get that into the title. I was trying to be like Eagles fly in the hurricane.
Yep. Hurricane
I tend to think
Sirianni,
I'm a good recruiter, Don. You know what I mean? I think I'm a good judge of talent. Maybe not everybody in the history of A2D, right? I'm not going to say everybody was a great
Somehow
judge.
I'm still here.
No, Don, I felt good.
I hear you, Chrome. Me too.
Derek, what's
I don't
up,
know
my
where you
brother?
went
Oh, my age now too. My agent.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it, bro.
Dude, it's weird. You get over 40, it's like crazy.
Oh my God.
I don't get it.
I don't even shave. I don't even care about shaving anymore. I just don't give a shit.
Well, it's so funny. Like working from home, I shower like once a week. Like
You're in the
no,
pool?
like I don't see anybody. You know what I mean? Like
Are you in the pool though?
no.
See, that's weird. See, you're a weirdo because like if I was in Florida,
I know. I realistically do it too. I used one as like a hyperbolic state.
Dude's a dirty son of a bitch. Dude's a dirty son of a bitch.
If I feel nasty though, I do shower. But like there's days where I just like
you're nasty.
Yeah,
You're
fine.
nasty.
That's
First off,
fine.
why was you not in the pool? Like if I was in Florida, like
I'm always working.
but then the non-shower is fine, but I got to get a dip in. Like who doesn't just walk in, get a dip, feel good, wake yourself up a little? What is wrong with you? Like my morning
I have a pool
routine.
and I don't get in that much either.
You guys were weird with the pool.
Is one more hour if we get into what's wrong.
Because you guys with the pools, get content.
Yeah,
like,
we do.
No, it's like relationships. You get content. You stop doing things for the one you care about. You can't
100%.
stop doing things because it's around you all the time.
And I will admit, it hasn't been the greatest weather because we're in hurricane season, right? So any time that I might have, it's always probably raining.
I hear that. Stop.
I should do it most. Where I should do it every time, because it would literally be a quick thing, and it's one of my shower days anyway. When I come home from golf, right on a Tuesday morning, when I come home from golf before jumping in the shower anyway.
You get that on a fucking calendar? Like you got
no, but when you're sweating golfing in the morning, right? You know what I mean?
I'm just talking about a dunk in the morning. You're not understanding what I'm saying to you.
I don't wake up in time for a dunk in the morning. I wake up in time to get up to my first meeting and make them think that I've been working all morning.
You're a remote guy. I'm trying to tell you, it would change your life.
I work next to my pool in the bar shed. Like I'm a by the pool guy. So like my office when I work from home, I open up. I have like a bar shed in the backyard. I open it up. I sit at the bar. I put the TV on. I work with the pool behind me.
See, like you guys don't deserve what you have. Like I could say this. Like when I did like, and I
can't see. I can't work outside because I can't see.
Hold on, I wasn't able to do.
I work in a frat house.
I wasn't able to do a month. Oh my God, I'm not even working a frat house. I wasn't able to do a month. I wasn't able to do the month in Florida with my parents and the kids because obviously the baby was born. But when I did it in the past, like I know because then you get to like week 3 and you're like, it's there, right? It's there. I see you, and you're not as aggressive as you are weeks 1 and 2. But I always say like that first week. The first week you're like you're a fucking seal. You know what I mean? You're a dolphin. You're flying around, right? I don't even know what seal noise is. All right, but we're doesn't matter. But you're running around. So like I get it. But then I gotta check myself and say, Tom, you got the tub there too.
You check yourself before you wreck yourself.
You got the tub. And the hot tub's a game changer too. But I tell you,
if I had that, I would sit in one of those.
But I would wake up every morning though and give myself that quick wake up. Like there was nothing better. I'm telling you, there was nothing better than a morning walk down the steps, right on down, right? Little head first down into it, and you're staying for a couple seconds. You give yourself a couple dunks, right? Because you really want to, you get yourself going. It may even blow your nose, whatever you gotta do, but get it in you. I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to change your life. Bro, I don't suggest in the months coming, right? But for you, it's summertime only. But for Greg, it's fucking 365.
Yeah.
Like You got such greasy hands. I know you. All right. Don't tell me you got one shower day a week. I don't know how you even swing the club without killing somebody. Because you know what I mean? Like, I know you. I know you. Uncle Greggy Grease. All right, Uncle Greg Grease. Like, so how are you not? I'll never understand it. I'll never understand how you're not dunking.
I've always been a by the pool guy. Like
I know.
I invite people. I'm like, oh, guys, come. You've been here. Get in the pool. And I just
you watch everybody
by the pool while everybody else is in the pool.
It's like Diddy. He's watching you.
Yeah.
He's at the Diddy party.
I'm standing over. I'm doing the cheers. I'm handing drinks out. Let's go, boys.
Hey, next time I go over to Crumb's, here's the oil. Like, what? Is it olive oil or baby oil? We cooking or we? Derek, I've been saying it for years, Derek. I don't know where these people are at the contact the right people, right? But I think we have a great time. I think we have a great time together. You know, we all got to wake up early as shit, and we're just grinding. We're just having a great time.
And we're still going. We're gonna get Donna's one more hour.
Because we know how we all operate. It's this, so we're gonna be laying in bed till 1 o'clock trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Even though we're exhausted. Oh, goodness gracious! Don't invite Carl Malone. No, Carl. Carl's a creep. I would say, yeah. Puff was a household name before Diddy. You know, Puff the Magic Dragon, he was.
It's Tootsie making her little debut.
Hey, Toots. Hey, Toots. I love her face.
She's getting older, but she's not getting bigger.
I love that even more. I like that even more. I'm not getting a big one next time. I gotta find a different style I like because I can't have the little chirper. I mean, I'm an anti-little chirper.
She's pretty quiet.
I always say like the little ones. You know what I mean? Like just get a cat. Just get a cat. That ain't a dog.
And
you know
don't get a cat because they're the worst.
Don't get a cat. And I'm not like totally anti-cat, but I don't want one. Now, if you travel a lot, a cat's the way to go, right? If you like cat, listen to me, Greg. I'm anti-cat. Can you hear me? I'm a big fan of kitten.
You know what?
Huge kitten.
I would appreciate if you got a cat because then I'd have a reason to tell you no.
I haven't used you in a while.
I know.
I might have been calling you in November. You know what I mean? I might be calling you soon. I might tell you have to come up here. Hey, Greg, I need you in February. Come up here to 22.
I actually wouldn't mind that.
You like that though, so
I'd get a little taste of what I miss being down here.
But like, if you have kids and they want a pet and you like to travel, you gotta consider that. Now, you could just get a good fucking dog. You know what I mean? You could just get not a moron. So
that's where you went wrong.
It's all picking the litter. Now I'll say about that moron is I couldn't pick a better dog for both my kids.
Yeah, no, he does well with
he's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
You never want to jinx that, but he's really good with them. So, that's all I give a shit about. But besides that, he's probably rubbing his ass all over my house right now. You know what I mean? Guy just did a line across. He just did home in the first. He did the chalk. He did the chalk line. Oh, that motherfucker. Oh God. Lennon wakes up Lennon's Lennon's grinding it out too. And I'll hear I'll get home late and it's 11 and she's out there I feel like she threw him across the room. Because you'll hear him he'll be scratching and he'll be bang, 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 bang. It feels like the wall, everything's coming down. Yeah, he's an issue. But M, pray for M, pray for Maggie, right? Pray for the pups. M, 13 years. That girl's been through everything you can imagine in my life. You know what I mean? And it's coming to an end for her. She's still hanging on, but you can see it. Yeah. It's always tough. You know what I mean? It's tough when you have a kid, a kid old enough now to be where is she?
To understand it.
Yeah. Now I got to go get a fucking another one. You know what I mean? Now I'm a replace guy. You know what I mean? When it comes to pets, I'm quick. Give me another one. Because get my mind off. And it's not to not remember your dog, right? It's to it's to get another connection because
to help cope and fill the voice.
yeah, it's not. I mean,
we have 5. We just got her not that long ago, so
I don't know how you
I don't know if I need a. I don't need. I don't even know if I need another 5th dog. I could maybe ride it out with the 4.
Yeah, you could do it 4.
But Maggie's got. Yeah, we're waiting on her surgery to be rescheduled. So
I think they can get it out and clear it out for her.
The night before the surgery, we didn't know, so we went to drop her off. We dropped her off. So the surgery she has to be done by 2 doctors. Well, the one doctor had a baby the night before.
Oh my god!
So the one doctor showed up, had no idea the other doctor wasn't coming in. We took the dog, left her there, had to come back 3 hours later because they figured out the other doctor wasn't coming in. So we got to go back and do. Yeah, she's got a tumor on her spleen, like the size of like a football. So they got to remove it.
They think they're gonna be able to do it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's cancerous. Problem is her age, right? So
How old is she?
she's about 11 and a half. But
oh wow!
Chocolate Labs only she's already a year past her life expectancy.
And
Chocolate
labs always get them. They always
and
get
Chocolate
them.
Labs live a year less than a regular lab. It's something with their genetics.
It's weird because like every golden I had like ended up getting something like that.
They all get like tumors and shit.
Yeah,
but hers grew on a spleen, and usually it's not too bad. But hers is on her spleen,
Jesus.
so it's crushing her organs internally. So eventually, it's going to rupture and she'll bleed out inside. So not to make this morbid, like she's been all right. We take care of her. We keep an eye on her. She needs 24-hour observation just to make sure. But she's been after that 1 week, she's been kind of her normal self. You can see she's uncomfortable. So we just gotta get that surgery done. That's all.
On cue, this guy just fucking threw himself across the house. You know what I mean?
I'll never forget this. And the day he cornered Chuck's and tore his shirt. Lives in him.
Dry humping him. Literally fucking diddied him, right? Like Luke.
Chuck comes down, his shirt's all torn. We're like, what the fuck happened to you?
So second studio, but still in the same house, right? I converted the garage into a studio. And then when you walked up the steps of the garage, there was a door. There was a door to go right into the bathroom, like where the laundry room was and everything. But then I had a door blocking the house from the house. Like I put the door on purpose, so that guys could just walk in, not have to worry about the dogs ever. Well, I think my dad, or maybe it was Greg. Greg was living there.
Yeah, might have been.
His brain, Greg, but it might have been me. But somebody left the door open, and Chuck's. Then yes, because somebody left the door open, didn't they?
Yeah,
they had to.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I don't remember.
Yeah, and Titan went flying in there and was dry humping him. It was like, yeah, he picked up a couple of charges that day. I mean, there's the charges filed.
He nipped at him. He came in. The fucking bottom of his shirt was like ripped. We're like, what the hell happened to you? He was up against the wall like this. He's like, all right, this is gonna happen. They say if you stay still, they won't see you and they'll go away.
Like a bug.
Oh, Jamar, you're right. Hurt's gonna have to carry this team and Titan carry Chucks.
Carry
Great times. All right, boys. Great show. Let's get the hell out of here. HED Wednesday night.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, this is unbelievable.
Titty dog.
Titty dog. A lot of stuff's coming out. Empty the file. See you, Donnie, Derek, Jamar, everybody out there.
This was a marathon for us for a while. You know, we ain't had one of these in a while.
Yeah.
This is a good time. We're playing good football. This is what happens. All right, we love you all. We're out of here. Thanks, Bagios. Go use promo code HED. Get 10% off your order.